Send it to Brendan at the big desk. You guys are going to go on early because we have the Fed coming up at 2 in case you're just joining us.
I got to switch desks.
Fed decision coming up 2 o'clock. Papa Powell, the
Big
Fed,
red.
he'll be on 2:30. Look for market movement then.
Let's do this.
We'll see you guys tomorrow. Brendan's at the big desk.
Hey guys, yeah, welcome in. 15 minutes to go here before we get to what is going to be, let's be honest, a quarter-point hike from Jerome Powell and the Fed. More importantly, we'll pay very, very close attention to the statement that is released. That's going to come out right at 2 o'clock along with the decision itself. So we'll get the quarter-point hike. We'll look at the statement for any clues and changes in the language used in the statement regarding whether or not they're going to pause or whether or not they think continued hikes are necessary going forward. So that's going to be the first clue as to which way this market's going to go. Again, coming up in about 15 minutes here. Meanwhile, that is look at, here we go, look at the overall market here, 0.34 ahead of the Fed to the upside, 0.14 for the Dow, the NASDAQ 0.36 in positive territory for all three. Good to see ahead of what is to come. All will change here in about 14 minutes now. Yeah, 4% still. Big move down once again today for crude oil. It was way more than that at the lows. It has bounced since. We're also looking at a very mixed sector board. Doesn't really make much of a difference at this point. Again, all will change coming up here fairly shortly. Starbucks standing out there down better part of 10%. AMD, same story, both off of earnings. EL was also an earnings name. GNRC, same story, 15% upside ahead of what is to come here. Let's get right into what we need to know as far as what we're going to trade, how we're going to trade it, where we're going to look for opportunities. We'll go right to the guys here for a look at what they're checking out with 13 minutes to go here, guys. Going to be a hike, but again, we'll pay close attention to that statement that comes out along with it. Make sure there's no changes, significant changes. If they're going to pause, likely the language will be in there.
Yeah, do we want to pause is the real question. Like any language suggesting that, and a lot of people are going to say, oh my goodness, like what are you not telling us about the health of the economy and the health of the banking sector and the credit crunch and yada, yada, yada. So I don't necessarily think indication of pause, like a lot of people have been saying this, I don't think it's anything too crazy there to suggest that that could be seen as a negative. The news is, I mean, we're basically flat all day long, and then, so the NASDAQ is in a bit of a zone, which provides you an opportunity. I always look to the upper and lower bands when we have this announcement for like what I call the rubber band opportunity. That would be we break one way or the other. And you know, Meta's news is Meta's news. NVIDIA's at 280. I don't know, I reloaded it at 280. I don't know if it was the right call right before, but I have a stop above the high of the day. But yeah, if we get a big breakout, let's look into that 13.3 area, look for a reversal somewhere above that price on the initial move. And then to me, trend after 230 when we can actually digest what gets said. To the downside, you're probably looking another 100 points to the downside on the NASDAQ. I'll be watching the Qs. I'm in NVIDIA 280. Another level to watch for myself is going to be very specifically Tesla 165. This I didn't reload. I don't know why I decided NVIDIA, not Tesla. 160. Oh, the wicks. 165, because that's exactly the same thing. So you got a big top here. If that gets blown out, you have a potential breakout, but I don't want to catch necessarily. Look, if you catch the first move, congratulations, you're an algo, or you're just super fast. I'd rather play the rubber band than wait for a trend when we get a little bit later on. And the bet, which direction do we go from 2 to the close? That's the current bet. I'm closing it up in about 8 minutes or so.
Is that vague? What was the question? How does StreamLab have it exactly?
It's will we be red or green on the NASDAQ from 2 p.m. till 4 p.m. So at 2 o'clock, where was the NASDAQ and where is it at the close? Red or green. I don't care what it is on the day from from 2 to 4. That's what we care about.
Thank you, ma'am. You know what they said about AMD yesterday, by the way?
It's true. It's true.
It said downside for AMD. AMD came through on the downside, that's for
it
sure.
It did.
Okay, welcome everybody. Thanks, Ms. Kat, for that. 8 ball in the back there. We thought it would be more of a joke that we put it on our desk, but apparently it was fell flat there, so we didn't have much of a joke there. But we're into Meta now. The only risk about Meta here, and I just talked about this with Sharif. Shout out to Sharif as well. We just talked about this, that really the risk here, and again, get these wicks coming through. I'm gonna have to edit these out, man. Honestly, it's ridiculous. But against 240. So, you know, we're short again. We're short right now at 238.70. So everyone can join the party if you want to, but you are now 10 minutes away from a release. And I just don't want to be near 240 when it comes out. That's all. Because if we wick higher than this, and I know Neil and I use the terminology, and I actually don't like to use it. It's like, and we just say it because it's a natural thing. When we're saying about getting wicked out, we're not. That just means it's filling our stops. Like it just happens to be that where we put our stops is kind of where it exhausted itself. So it's like our stops are probably just as obvious as your stops as everybody else. So a lot of the time it runs up to the stop, hits your stop, and then the move continues because quite frankly, all the buyers like us have disappeared because of that exact fact. We're now stopped out. So the buy pressure of pushing through that level has exhausted itself, creating that top wick. So sometimes you'll hear Neil and I say, oh, you know, we got wicked out on that. But technically, we put the order in and we're responsible for getting filled.
No,
so
it's a good explanation.
That's kind of, no, it's not because you say, I'd say it, we both say it. I'm just trying to give people an idea of like, because I was mentioning it at 240, if the market comes out and it comes out flat, so no change, the market could absolutely rip up. And then what happens is people are like, wait a second, no change, that's bad. And then the market moves down, but we get stopped out because we have a stop. And I think it's very prudent to make sure that you have orders to take profit and to minimize the downside. So on that note, I'm short at 70 right now. I have a bid at 238 flat. So if this can come back in a little bit here on Meta, we've cleaned up the chart temporarily here. Hopefully, if I go like that, you see another one. But for right now, that's where VWAP is. And I know it doesn't really matter that much, but the 50 period is now intact because that news came out an hour ago. So now we have 50 data points already. So that 50 period is now smoothing itself out. And let's just see what happens here on a possible, wow, it just went to 14. All right, we are at 05. All right, so everything should be working in my ear now. If you guys ever want to throw to Brendan or anything, let me know. But we can stay here for now. We're getting out of our PayPal. We've done a pretty good job getting out of that one. And as this opens up here, I believe, oh man, look at these wicks. We got to change how we're doing the midday show because honestly, coming back over here is disastrous for those. Let's talk a little bit about what we do expect here. So the NASDAQ right now is floating around 13.2, right? You can see here, if I drop this down just a little bit, where the ranges of the NASDAQ have been. So I actually expect that if this is a bullish statement that comes out at 230, if there is some bullish remarks that are happening there,
right,
or if the market takes this quarter point, if that's what we get, as a bullish sign, I would say that we could make it up here, man. We could go 100 points. We've done 100 points, on a Thanos snap before. So it's absolutely no problem. But if Thanos snaps, that means we're going down here. And I can't imagine, because it's so baked in, I'm not expecting an outsized move. If it was 50-50, 60-40, 70-30, something like that, then I could see, okay, we're offside, we got to get out. But until we hear exactly some of the questions about CPI targets, what they're thinking about, especially about these bank failures, then honestly, I'm thinking like 13,300. We'll get out of all of our shorts if it blows up, and I'm going to be looking to go short up here. 13.3 against this 13.350, something like that. So that's what I'll be looking for. And then almost the exact same way on the downside, although it's scarier to buy dips. This is, again, if you move down up 100 points, move down 100 points, puts us to 13.1. I don't think that holds. So if we get to 13.1, I'm actually looking for a short, maybe into 13. So for me, I'm going to go short up here or even short down here. And the only way to get me long is if we bounce off 13.0s or we bounce off 13.1s. But I'm going to wait, keep the cards close to the chest here and just see what we do on this NASDAQ because you get thrown around, Neil, as you know.
Fade the pot. But there's a dip buy that I don't mind.
Right.
I'm going to throw this one out there. And it's wild, it's crazy, it's probably not going there. But Amazon made a double bottom the other day at like 101 to 101.50. Now, I'm not saying we can go that far to the downside, but almost like levels be darned if we see the chance to go long off of 100. That feels pretty decent, just given where it's at. I mean, like sometimes the rubber band trade is obvious, and where you want to buy the dip would be obvious. And so if an outside move happens down, that's kind of one that sits there kind of maybe in the pocket. Yes, it's a monster reversal, but if we do get that trend down rejection, it is in the back of my mind, of course, in the back of my mind. I am in 2 shorts right now. I don't have a long. It was Amazon that I was long earlier. I don't know that it'll hold the support that we're long off earlier. Maybe the pre-market low could be something a little more shallow, but I think you want to be patient. I'm going to give it maybe a little bit longer for you guys to get your bets in. I'm just going to close it because it's from 2 to the close. We don't know where we're going to go here, but I rather that rubber band play. Like, allow the first move to happen. I like to fade it if we get that chance. Tesla 165 in play. I'm already in NVIDIA, so they're probably not going to be using that for any kind of fade play, but Tesla does stand out there at that 165 level. I am short Mullen. I would expect.
Whoa, you're short Mullen into the Fed? What
yeah,
are you doing?
I would suspect that nothing about that. So
insane?
the reverse split is the news here, that so they can regain compliance. They quadrupling to the downside. I've been shorting the consolidation. I would suspect that nothing is going to matter at 2 o'clock here with regards to Mullen. So I don't have to worry about this running stops or anything like that. Well, I mean, likely not. I shouldn't speak in certainties there. Probably okay.
Yeah, probably okay. We just got another piece out. We got a piece out on Meta here at 20s. So we were actually waiting at 05. It went to 07 and stopped. And then I saw it was only 15,000 shares, but started driving it up a little bit. And I was like, let's just take that fill. We are still down there at 238.03 this time to grab a fill. So see, it just keeps bouncing off 238. So, we'll take another piece out. Now we're short at 54. The first short started all the way back here on Meta, but I'm going to be looking at Apple probably for this release as well. As we talked about the TQQs, so if you guys want to have a look at that with me as well. We also have to stop in for PayPal, but I'm not going to talk about that. There's only 2 minutes now until this throws down. So if we're looking for TQQ shorts or anything like that, you have the high of the day coming into play right there, but that's going to get squashed, so I'm not too worried.
I didn't even
I'm not too worried about that, but if you go into the 20-minute chart on this just goes back to yesterday, 28.50. That could be a short. And I just talked about where we go short if the NASDAQ really, really got going. So there are other opportunities here on where we'd like to look at, but that 28.50 is something here for the TQQs, which might be a decent short. We could get up there, break it, then on the way back in is something that we'd look at for that. And then you're going to have, it's all the same. Here's 28.50, right? So hopefully that will come into play.
Already.
It's a good thing we got a little bit out on Meta because that's starting to go back up right now.
I'm out of NVIDIA.
You're out of NVIDIA. I think it's a wise move to get out of these things as the market is dancing around here into the close. Oh, you're short Meta as well?
Yeah, I did pick it up, but I don't know. It breaks 39. I might just get out of it early. Oh, there's one other name.
Make sure everyone hits the like button.
We have 90 seconds to go. We got some time. There's another strong name I like, and strong on the day. Intel. Intel's up 3.5%. So if we do get like a dip to the downside, watching that 30 to 30.20 level on Intel for a stink bid buy. As a matter of fact, I'm going to make sure I have that level 2 up. So I like this one for strength if we do get any kind of a sell-off. As a matter of fact, if we end up trending in the afternoon, this is going to be a name that I'm going to like a little bit here, just sort of showing it holding that 30 level after it tried all the world to sell off yesterday and ended up holding pretty well. We're going to go to Brendan. We got 1 minute to go, and he'll have it live for us.
All right, 1 minute countdown here. Sharif with me. We'll take you through what's going to come out here. First, a look at how this will play out. We'll show you the initial interest rate decision, which comes 5.25 expected, which would indicate a quarter-point hike. So last time, if you remember, they went to 5% on the Fed funds rate, quarter point on top of that, obviously, 5.25. So we're looking for 5.25 in that box. Immediately after that happens, this will flood with all of the comments that come through with the accompanying statement for the actual release itself. So we'll immediately begin sifting through all of those to see what has changed. As I was saying as we came on there, the statement itself might be the more important part of this release, in that if they indicate in the statement that they're going to pause now, that's very bullish, or potentially very bullish for the overall market. We'll go to the guys then for the overall reaction. 5 seconds to go here. Again, we're looking for 5.25 would indicate a quarter-point hike as expected. So there it is, as expected, guys, 5.25. So they do go a quarter point to the upside for the Fed funds rate. Here's all the comments. As I mentioned, let's go over to Neil and Sean.
Yeah, lots of sift.
Yeah, the market's trying to go.
Meta's starting to go.
Yeah.
Meta stopped out, so I had my stop up above there to make sure we got out. There's NVIDIA. This is why we got out of it right away. I don't want to play the initial move. Just watching where the NASDAQ is getting to on this move. You're trying to respect that previous high at 13.3. That's where I wanted the rubber band action. It's not even getting there at this particular point, Brendo.
Drop the language, guys, saying they anticipate more policy firming may be appropriate. So that's exactly what I was indicating. So they've dropped that language again, anticipating more policy firming that may be appropriate.
More policy firming. Okay. Yeah, so Brendan's going to go through all that language, and we're going to try to figure it out almost, to the T. And then when we can figure that out, we'll bring it back to you. Meta goes as high as 240 there. The TQQs, man, it does that move exactly sort of what we thought it would do. Up and then down, right back to where we were, as if that release didn't even happen. All right, so we're into Meta right now. I'm going to have to get something out. Oops, sorry, here it is right here. This is what we're doing. We're short right now, 239 flat. It almost stopped us out, but didn't. So, hopefully this can pull back. I'm on the bid. Like, how is it stopping on me in the 80s there again? Hopefully this can fly back down to the downside as we'll wait for some more information on what this market could or could not do right now. Apple, we're probably flying a little bit on Apple, but you know what? Now that we look at this market, it's not really doing anything. Kind of flat. I mean, here's the NASDAQ. You're down 0.3, up 0.38. Right now, so not much in the way of the market right now. I guess we'll wait for him to hit the podium. You guys remember, man, we've talked about this with Uncle Powell there, Jerome, Uncle Jerome, that once he hits the podium is when everything starts flying around.
It hits the fan.
Yeah, it hits the fan when he hitting that. So right there, we got a couple good outs, man, for us. We got a 58 and a 70 or 80 there as Meta. We're going to get out if we take out 240.50. So, we'll take $1 or so hit on this if it does get back up to the upside. But Meta does resist that 240 fill. And I told you we'd take it in front of it. It resisted it. So now let's see what happens here with Meta. It's the only position I'm in. I'm actually still in PayPal, which is rocking a little bit. I mean, again, not much happening as this goes up to 70, 72, 75, and then starting to come back in again. So let's take another piece out here on PayPal and just watch out because it's this Meta that's really got me going.
Yeah, here comes the rubber band action. I'm going to apologize in advance for the wick on Tesla, but it went to 165, or at least close enough to it. I got that 164.88. That was one of the upside levels I wanted to fade. So I got 88s. I just got some out there, 164. Again, there's this crazy dark pull wick up to 186. I don't have a chance to clean it up just yet. Meta's starting to come back in. We're shorting it all the way back. Got out multiple times, but now it's coming down into VWAP. But this bid comes in, and I want to get over to no way did you really, Intel. Yeah, Intel did dip. I missed my chance to go long. I'm still on this bid. If we do get down toward that 30 level, I'm going to go for it. But now the shorts are starting to pay out there. Brendo, what's up, bud?
Just to confirm, guys, so the Fed down here, if we go to my screen real quick there, Mohad, down here. So opening the door to rate hike pause. So they didn't actually come out and say they're going to pause with interest rate hikes at this time, but they did say in determining extent in which additional policy firming may be appropriate, they'll take into account all moves they've already made, and then up here, additional policy firming may be appropriate. So the extent to which additional policy firming may be appropriate. So if you remember, going back to the past few meetings, they've used that term, ongoing rate hikes are still appropriate. So that has come out.
Oh, boy.
Awesome.
I mean, now we're $2 in the money. The only trade that was put on here, I don't think you got filled on anything. No, those are all
I got stopped on Meta
You
and
got
had to
stopped
jump
on back
in. I took a hit.
so
I
we're
took a
short.
hit on Meta, but
All right, so
I
we're
did
both
get
short
stopped
Meta,
out
so that's
first.
good. No, I was just saying that we hadn't put on too many positions, but the one that is working, and I want to thank everybody in the chat for this, man. It's Meta. It's the Meta short. You can see where we're short right now, 239.70. That's this tick right here. So we were short into it, right? But again, it's this big short that happened once the news hit, and we already took, that's $5, $5.50. So Meta came crashing down, man. We took a $4 winner, the $5.50. Now we're back in this name, and we just got filled down there at 237.40. And again, really no reason, man. I just saw the exhaustion candle there. Nice move to the downside. We still don't have any volume coming in. So, the NASDAQ is honestly, it's right where we were before the release. Here's the release. You see where the volume happened? Here's the release.
Yeah.
13.222. We're at 13.223. So, I mean, we've seen bigger, we've seen bigger moves just by like
Oh, I mean,
somebody
that's-
making a keystroke here. So like I don't know where this is going. We're at the absolute highest spot we've been at all day, and I want to thank Meta for that. As we'll just continue to hold that short. We did punch out of PayPal when it came back in there. We saw the market going back down, and there it is right there on PayPal, 72.55, our last out. And here it goes. We are now really cranking to the low side. Now we get another one right now. We're going Yahoo on this because it's Meta bringing the pain down to the downside. We could have shorted anything, Neil. I know you're looking at Tesla. Do you have the Tesla
I got
short?
Tesla.
Great, that's great. The
64.88.
market is starting to come in right now.
Probably
We're-
everything.
We're at, that's what I mean, like whatever you guys want. I feel like, someone just put in the chat, nothing burger. I feel like the report came as expected
It was
there. So now we wait for the podium.
Little piece of language there. I think as Brendan was sort of mentioning, ongoing. That's probably not going to be necessarily good. Apple, not that bad, actually. Apple in the middle. It goes to 170, stays inside of the range. It never blows out the lower high. It never blows out the higher low. So that's a nothing burger. I suppose it really just matters what you're looking at here. Going back to NVIDIA, I was in NVIDIA before the number came out, so I got stopped out. I was looking for it to maybe press higher to even think about shorting it again. It would have been in the 82 range. You can't really see that unless I pull back on like a 15 or something. But it's catching a bit of a bid. So NVIDIA looking strong. I think Intel's still looking pretty decently strong as well. So right now you're inside and you have not really broken anything in either direction. I would have anticipated this was never a load up situation until it got to like 13.3. The bottom hasn't come in here. So I think we want to slow ourselves down, calm down. I'll take a sip of coffee. I don't have a Timbit. I don't know where the Timbits went to. They were up there.
In the kitchen.
Now they're gone. Thank you, Jenny, for the Timbits, by the way. If you're still watching, I hope you are. But yeah, we'll find out where those are. Grab a snack. But let's calm down a bit because I think the initial move has happened. The short was off. It was fading the move off the top, and now we can just wait a little bit to the podium. Could get some scalp trades going. I want to find something strong that I can maybe buy some dips on. Intel's nowhere near where I wanted it.
I'm going to adjust. I mean, I'm going to change. I changed this. I mean, I changed this over to a 5-minute chart. I'm going to go back to a 3-minute chart. I just don't know. Nothing's really moving around enough. I wanted to open up the horizon a little bit there in case we did grab something, but it doesn't look like there's much happening. PayPal's still working out for us. Meta's come all the way back. We got a couple great fills, man. We're only in half that position now on Meta. So even if it goes back up to the upside, this is the thing. Our stop, just to talk about this, our stop on Meta, guys, was going to be 240.50. So that's 80 cents. Our first take is $1. These takes down there are, that's 237 flat. That's $3. Like our risk was 70 cents to the upside. So we started to make that bank there, and pretty happy with those results. Uber today, and I've been talking about Uber since $30, and which was only a week ago. I said I was excited for their release. They came out, they pumped it, and it got pumped up to the upside right here today. And we made a decent amount of money on Uber because we were long early on this name, really early, like as early as you can be pretty much. And that's 937, that's 932. We did bounce. That was a missed opportunity, and it's crazy because we went over there and I just missed it by like 1 or 2 pennies. Then it was a nice upside move, but Uber right now, brand new 52-week highs as we take out 37.58. That's the brand new 52-week high on this one. What you got for us, Brendo?
All right, the ever exciting red line statement for everyone just coming out. So anything you see in red, first of all, is different or has been removed. So if it's crossed out, it's obviously removed. If it's different, then it's changed. So a little more certainty at the top in regards to economic growth. So economic activity did expand versus recent indicators pointing to, not a big deal, whatever. So down here is what I was talking about earlier in regards to going forward. They'll take into account changes they've already made when it comes to making decisions on interest rate decisions in the future. So everything else, as you can see, pretty much exactly the same outside of those 2 differences, guys.
Does anybody notice that very first paragraph there? The U.S. banking system is sound and resilient. I would light that piece of paper on fire if I read that, and I would just stop right there. Sound and resilient?
So here's the problem with when everyone talks about banking. Is think about it this way. If it's
Run
sound and
for your
resilient, they
life.
have to say sound and resilient. If it's not, they have to stay sound and resilient because you always have to project confidence, otherwise you get a run on the banks. So when are you ever going to see someone in a position of authority tell it like it is in the banking sector? It's almost like, why bother talking about it? We know you have to portray confidence
Don't worry,
in
your
the
FRC
sector no
shares
matter what.
are good with
Your
me.
shares are fine.
They're good with me.
Well, okay, we're joking.
You know, JP Morgan, I'll just take it all over.
joking.
Everything's sound. Everything's sound.
We're
Everything's
joking.
fine. Don't even worry about it.
Yeah.
You know, what about when they uncover JP Morgan a little bit as well? I just a little nervous. Nervous Nancy. They're not nervous Nancy Pelosi, because when you know what's happening, you're never nervous.
Can't be. Hey, they finally have there's a bipartisan bill again to restrict trading.
Oh, is there? Okay.
It's like
Good luck with
AOC and like her opposite. I forget the dude's name. They never pass. These bills never pass. But
No.
at least they're trying.
But you know, maybe they will, and I think it's a good
One
idea
day
if
they'll
they do
have
get that through, for sure. So yeah, FRCB has made its move today again, has made its move to the pink sheets, and that's what it's looking like right now. Here today, unfortunately, again, sub-dollar right now. So for me, I'm not too interested in trading anything that's sub-dollar, but you can see right now, like, see, we don't even quote. Actually, we do quote, but sometimes we miss some of these prints. I just don't. It's not overly marketable to me right now at this price, but FRCB today, I mean, roller coaster ride. You know, up 16%.
Wow.
We said this would be something that could happen when you get some of these. That's at 8:30, right? So the market opens up here at 9, instantly sold off. Everyone holding shares, you know, selling it off. Then all of a sudden it just drifts a little bit higher. So you know, if this stays like this, and then if it's tradable, we'll be able to look at this maybe tomorrow. Sometimes here at Day Trade the World, we can get extensions on things like that to be able to trade them. So
True.
We'll wait. But again, for me, it wouldn't be a scalping. I don't like the way this looks right now, structured like this, because I feel like it's just hard to figure out what you want to do. But if tomorrow comes through, we'll have a solid day of data, and then we'll look to see where we open in relationship to where we are today, and then we'll go from there. Is oil doing anything in this move?
Just
So,
very
no.
quickly here. Here's
Yeah,
a
go
stock
ahead.
that I didn't realize was making this move.
Maybe gold?
And I'm gonna shout out in the chat because I can't remember the last time we talked about Adobe. So I want to shout out Daryl for mentioning. Daryl, he said 350 on Adobe, and I was like, no, whatever. He must have made a typo. He must have meant 360. No, 50 period gone, broken down on the channel. This is a company that had been doing pretty solidly, not really having the big boom. They hadn't been making cuts because it seemed like everything was sound there. They're going to be able to weather the storm. This was already down going into this. You want to pick on a weak name. This was already trending to the downside. That spike gave you a gift of an entry at 55 into that 350 level. A little bit shocked by that one. Good shout out. You want to find relative strength and weakness. You found it. I am in Mullen. I did get a bit of a bid there as the news was coming. It didn't really matter. I was sitting on the bid pretty much at that lower high. Okay, it happens to be 0.666. It's random. That's just where I got it. I don't even think I did that intentionally. But if it goes further, I'm looking for just in front of 6.3, in front of 6 even. I have some bids in front of 5 as well. Just shorted the first available pop in consolidation after the news of the split coming in, as we'll go back to Brendan for another update.
With a quick look here, guys. 80.6% in favor of a hold now for June. So this is going out to the next Fed meeting, obviously, in June. So 80% in favor of a hold.
But look to the left and to the right.
To the left,
10,
to the left.
Yeah, to the left, to the left. Ooh. No, it was 10% hike, 10% cut. So 80 in the middle, 10 and 10 on each side.
Flip a coin.
And those will change dramatically over the next couple of days. They're going to change dramatically, Brendan, in 20 minutes, because they're going to be asking some questions.
Yes, 15.
And then they'll adjust all of that. Sorry, 15 minutes. Yeah, but maybe it takes a little bit of time to adjust that. But we're going to 2:30 is when we're on the podium, and then they're going to ask a whole bunch of questions, and we'll figure it out from there. But we do have a little bit of an update. And again, I just fixed this wick.
Don't. I know.
We got out at 238 when it broke a little bit higher right now. So we are now in only a small percentage, man. 30% left of this trade, right? Actually, of this trade, yeah, 30% left of that trade, right? Okay, so yeah, because we had a bunch of average prices, right? We actually got 240 on that first break and made that $6 on it. I mean, we've taken profit all the way down, but we let it really fall, and I'm pretty proud of that, getting out all the way down there. So that was pretty good. And then we sat in the face of danger and said, danger.
Brave in the face of danger.
Danger,
Get on the flow.
Get on the flow. I know, is that P.D. Pablo?
No, that's Mystical.
Mystical.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think they're cousins or something.
He's
or
out of
brothers or
jail,
something
right?
like that.
Mystical was
He's
in
out of jail.
He was
That's a
in
good
jail.
one.
No, I didn't make that up. Mystical,
Mystical
was in jail.
Just funny, like,
Oh,
oh man, Mystical had a couple great songs for sure back in the day. And if you don't know, if you've never heard of these guys, probably
Watch
because you're
yourself.
not like over 35.
Show me what you're working with. No, just
Scaring like that. What is going on right there? Okay, so yeah, we're gonna watch out. If this, you know what?
Too much sugar too.
Yeah, you're a wild man today. Too many Timbits.
I only had like 8 to 10.
Give the man a Timbit.
It wasn't even that many. There was like 50 Timbits here. So quite frankly, I think I was just incredibly disciplined as far
There
as
was 100 Timbits here.
Well, in each box, 50.
Yes.
Okay, so there wasn't actually 100 in front of me. So 8 to 10, when there was 50 Timbits in front of me, come on, son. I'm like the David Goggins of Timbit discipline right now, as far as I'm concerned.
That would be bad, correct?
No, that just I would say I didn't have that many.
In regards to your discipline right now.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm
All
lying
right.
to myself, okay?
People talking about Google. Is Google investable at these levels? Yes. I mean, for me, I don't even have to look at the level. I think Google is one of the names that, you know, if you think that you like AI and you're somewhat positive on the direction of the market right now, you know, Google hasn't made a move, man. Google's one of the only major I mean, give me another one, you know, that's really sitting there right now.
No, what about Amazon? No?
Well, Amazon had that earnings report up to 120 and
my
now came
shorts.
back to 100, but we can look at Amazon, sure.
Well, if you take
but
out the aftermarket,
yeah,
yes, right? Yes.
Yeah, but I mean, let's just see where it is. Once it loads up there. Yeah, so you're still in there. Ooh, okay.
Oh, goodness.
The difference here, though, to me, is Amazon's actually, like, we were just at $90 back in March, and then you make that move to 110. But yeah, Amazon can still go as well. The only thing with Amazon, they didn't report a great AWS number, and I still like Amazon. I'm still a shareholder in Amazon, but again, my largest holding is Microsoft, but Google's there as well with Apple. So really, I'm into NASDAQ a lot right now. But I would say just to talk about what we were asked about in the chat there was about Google being investable at these levels, and I just think that it's relatively safe. And depending on what your time frame is here, and again, we're not giving advice to you. I mean, you guys have to figure out. That's why I said the time frame. What are you looking at? Like, you know, don't dispose all of your income in certain names. That would be my advice, to be diversified. I think that's decent advice. But I would just say, do your research on all of these names. But when I'm looking at a chart right now, I would say 6% down on Google gets you out at 100. Then you don't have to worry about all this stuff down here. So I like it from now. If you lose 6% on Google, I think you're fine. You get out if it breaks 100, and then you just regroup when you're back down here near 90 again. It's very, very similar to the trade that I made in Disney, right? I'm long $98 in Disney now, right? So we're waiting for that May 10th. We're waiting for the May 10th earnings report, and then when that comes out, then we'll see. If we do get up into like 105, 110 before then, so that's a week away, I will trim some of this because the downside risk here, I'm thinking, is 90. So again, it's about a 10% risk. So if we go up 10%, we're not far away now. I mean, 98 up $9. We got to get to 106, 107. Then we'll start to trim a little bit. But that was a play that I liked into earnings. We'll see if they can report a decent number. Never a huge risk holding, hopefully, you know, a blue chip company. I mean, does Disney still classify as that? I would think so. I don't know exactly. You have to look at the market cap. I don't know. What does define a blue chip stock anymore? Because, you know, I used to be able to say, oh, maybe Meta was blue chip and then it dropped to 90%. You know, Nvidia maybe is blue chip. Well, that's up 180%. Like, so I wonder, maybe if you're in the Dow, you're just a blue chip name.
I wouldn't go that far.
Neither would I. I don't.
There's been some.
What is the definition of a blue chip?
There's been some dogs in the Dow. But you know what? Quite frankly, the reason why you get those big moves to the downside in stocks that you would consider blue chips or stable is because you had free money for too long.
It just.
I don't give a damn how stable the company is or how much of a bellwether or how blue chip a stock is. If you just have free money forever, then corrections just get more wild. That's just how
Oh,
shit
Jesus.
works, man. Someone keeps saying Datadog in the chat.
Elizabeth
and wow,
Warren is on.
No, really?
Some other station.
Dada.
I mean,
Yeah. Okay, so Datadog up
Socialists
4.5%.
Unite.
Super strong name. And on Adobe, the Figma deal is under UK competition watchdog scanner. So that's the reason Adobe was already to the downside and just continuing. I'm a little concerned with Tesla here, the short anyways, because look at the bounce we keep getting off VWAP. It's still trend up. I might just need to respect this because we got podium in 10 minutes for Powell, and this did not break down. It's actually held some support here. I might decide to scalp this one out, trail it. It still might be a reload off to 65 if he's before he talks, but this one looks a little stronger than anticipated on Tesla, as Sharif likes to say. So this will be me trying to get some 64s out. I know you haven't said it today, but you say it often.
So blue chip meaning an example. Blue chip from Investopedia means Bitcoin. No, just joking. Blue chip is here, you come to my screen if you want. I mean, I'm not trying to make this stuff up here. Nationally or internationally recognized, that makes sense. So you have some kind of global reach, well-established, right? Financially sound company, okay? We'll have to find out about that. Yeah, good balance sheet, I guess. That is publicly traded, okay, so that's good. Blue chips generally sell high quality, widely accepted products and services. So yeah, so I think we're right on the
context
on with
logic,
all of that. So yeah, Wish would be one of those companies, you know, as well as various Chinese names, you know, well established, been publicly traded. So maybe that YCG or other names like that.
Jojo Pharmaceutical or whatever that one was.
Yeah, Jin Pharmaceutical. What was that? CJJD.
Jojo Drugstore.
Oh, Jojo Drugstores.
Blue chipper. You know what? That's
the only Jojo I know is Jojo Siwa, which you have no idea who that is.
No, I don't know who that is.
All right.
Casey and Jojo.
Casey and Jojo. There are some more. No, there's more Jojos.
There's probably way more Jojos than that. Powell is speaking. SV Powell speaking in 9 minutes. 2:30 he takes the podium. Unlike other officials, usually it's pretty on time. Like the Fed, say 2:30. He'll be
he's been doing nothing. He just released it.
They released a statement. They'll get a Q&A. You know.
Yeah. The problem is not just with current president, but you may have to wake him up. You know, it's time to get on the podium there. I'm not saying that Barack Obama is the most, and there's actually stats about this. He was late for more press releases or whatever, White House correspondence or whatever, than any other president. But the current one,
I guess when you're the leader of the free world, like
you almost do whatever you want.
It's like
almost.
You're the president. It's like y'all on my time, straight up. That's what all presidents get to say.
We will use
they're right.
all
They're busy
of
people.
our tools. Yeah, but Jerome, if Jerome is busy today, I mean, come on, man, just clear your calendar for a certain amount of days every 6 weeks when you come out and discuss what policies you are invoking. So.
This is getting a little strong, this move.
Microsoft's 308, by the way.
NVIDIA's 282.
I feel like you're waiting to get run over.
Holding the top. I mean, Meta 240 is probably a thing, but everything else is trending upside. I'm out of that Tesla. Because that just felt strong, and it's not even at the high.
Jerome may come with heat, bro.
He could, man.
Jerome may come with heat.
Jerome's done it before. You could see some breakouts here. I keep seeing other names out there that are up. I know Datadog was one that we pointed out on some relative strength. I do like Intel's relative strength. Fisker is up 10% today.
What?
Okay, we missed something on Fisker.
You must have misspoke.
No, I did not. Double bottom at 5. It's at 560.
You did.
It's up 10% today. What are you going to say? This is it's trending to the upside. Congratulations if you're long Fisker.
All right, so what's up, Zion? I mean, we could talk about that. I mean, that's a very, very easy question. I mean, you want to talk about why are we shorting Meta? I mean, Meta had that news that came out about the FTC dropping a bomb on them about not being able to monetize. What? Where was I? Oh my God, I'm at 239.98. What? Oh, we only went to 85. Okay, so yeah, what's up, Zion? Thanks for the super chat. No, they just got FTC news, right? So we had a huge move down, man. This is a $6.50 winner on that, right? So it's a huge move to the downside right there. Sorry, 550. That's 234.50. This is 240 short. And it's just, we have the 200 period there. We had a nice drop down. I'm only going to go short Meta until we break through. My stop is at 240.50. So if we go back upside here, I've already talked about it, man. We'll take a 70-cent hit. We only have 20% left, 30% left on this name right now. So hopefully we're able to get it. But that's that last reload right at 2 o'clock. And now we'll see about a downside push. But even into now, our stop is $1 higher than this. So I'm not trying to be a hero with this trade or do anything other than just wait. But what I wanted to look at here was, and I was just kind of saying it tongue in cheek, but I'm going to honestly destroy something with these wicks on here.
We need a punching
We're going to have to
bag.
have a solution for this midday show because it's not going to continue to work like
Hang a
this.
punching
We're
bag
going to
somewhere.
figure it out. But right there, 306 and change. I'm going to go long. I'm going to go long right down here. If Microsoft flushes down on something that Jerome Powell says, first of all, we'll be ringing the register on Meta if that happens. The second thing is I want to see what happens at 306.50. So again, 2 o'clock comes in. We danced around. We hit 306. That's where the VWAP is. So let's see if we do flush in 5 minutes. I'm going to go long at 306.50, and guess where I'm out? I'm out at 306. So I'm not trying to play. We will get hit on it if it does come down, that's for sure. But I'm going to watch out for Microsoft breaking through that 306 if it does happen. This is a name that I want long. We're greater than the market right now. We've seen Microsoft. It's been on our watch list. It's been on our mind. And honestly, if it comes back in, we want that long near 306. And again, I apologize for these wicks.
Yeah, not much you can do. Oh, there's another name on the radar that I didn't trade since this morning, and it might get there. Coin. I know someone in the chat, people in the chat, or at least a couple of people had mentioned Coinbase at 50. To me, that 52 level, man, like it's at 52 up there. I'm looking for that short. And to the bottom, I'm not really looking for longs, but if we get some whipsaw action to the upside, this is now trending into the upside right now. And I can expect that if we do start breaking these highs, which we are, yeah, the 52 comes into play. I like Intel for the dip. I'm out of Tesla. Tesla's really setting up for the 165 break. I'm not taking a breakout before 2:30. If Tesla breaks a high and goes on a day like today, I'm just willing to let it happen. I'm not going to get caught buying a high and then Powell takes the podium when anything can happen. To me, the trend is after he's talking and moves the market, so I won't jump into something ahead of that. But I am looking at that 165. You got a bit of a double top. Yesterday we were at 165.50, so it might need to clear out 50 cents before it goes. Intel's another one on my strong list. Okay, a little bit better when I zoom in. I'm still on the bid for a dip buy, which is probably not incoming. Never really know. It is setting up to blow through some resistance. Maybe my 15-minute looks better, marginally better there. So 31 quarter, 31.35, kind of a big level out there. I just want the long. If we trend upside, I'll be finding ways to get long in Intel. But no dip buy for me. This was the one when we did that rubber band action. I was trying to pick up on the bid. I'll do so again after 2:30 if we get a downward flush.
All right, Lau, I mean, we're just minutes away, right? We're going to go over to Brendan if and when he hears anything special coming out and what the questions are being asked to Powell. So what I'm waiting for here are talk about banks, talk about potentially the credit crisis, if and when we're going to do that and discuss that. I don't think he's going to talk about the debt ceiling. That has nothing to do with the Fed. So I don't expect anybody to ask him. Well, they could ask him questions about that, but again, it needs to be passed in Congress to figure that out. So I don't expect anything there. AMD has been one of those beat down names today, and again, it's just going to continue to make these moves today. So AMD, here's a 3-minute chart. Let me zoom back out a bit. Just want to find out what some of these bottoms are there. 80, 81, 30. We got out of the way. We were long early on AMD. Just thought that maybe it was a little bit overdone and overcooked to the downside, but that was completely wrong, and we got out of the way. AMD is my AMD is my only red stock today. So we'll go a little face slap on that one because that's good. I'm pretty happy with that. So, okay. The only red name that we do have on board today, but down to 81 and 81.50. We're going to look for that to possibly be something there for AMD. It's funny because Microsoft's pulling back a little bit here. Let's check out what Apple's doing. And I'm just getting ready, locked and loaded here for the announcement because the NASDAQ basically, guys, honestly, I mean, as honest as we could be here, we're being honest every day, obviously, but right there, it almost made that move. We feel like the move hasn't really happened, but, we did go up to 13. We almost went, we went to 13.3. That top wick is 13.290. 280, 290 almost, yeah, 292. So we almost got to 13.3, and you were just, 50 handles away from exploding and breaking the recent highs. So that is now in play, in my opinion. And if you take that down, I'm going to go over to the TQQs quickly. So I want to go long. I'm punching that long, by the way. I know I'd said I'd go short, but if it's going to happen on Powell, then no. I'm going to go long on Powell if that happens. So because I don't want to mess around with what Jerome's going to say because we've seen this market go absolutely nuts before on that. 28.50. So I'm taking that out, man. 28.50. If we're going long, If it can get up there, I'm going long right there, 28.50 on the Qs. So let's just watch out. If we drift up there, different story. You know, maybe we'll short it at that point, but if we just rock it up, I want to play the momentum on that break because the NASDAQ is only up 0.6. You know, you break that. 3%. So let's wait to see.
High?
That's, I mean, that's an aggressive call, but 28.50 long TQQ. I'm putting it in.
I'm trying to think what that. I'm looking at the NQ here and just sort of saying like before you get to like that recent high is a good 100 points away on the NASDAQ. Like you're not even at 13.3 yet. There's definitely room. Like you could break 13.3 and still have a 50 handle move on the NQ. So he should be heading to the podium. We'll get to Brennan right now to see if there's any update.
Just taking the podium right now, guys. So he'll read the statement first, which will take 5 minutes or so, and then we get the Q&A. So here we go.
We're going to, okay, yeah, so Brandon's going to be watching that. Thanks, Brendo, for all that talk. And Fahad, you should, I just sent it, so hopefully it comes out pretty quickly there. I'm going to take advantage of this right now on PayPal. I mean, what a great winner this is. We put this on board with my guy Sharif on the other side, and this has turned out to be such a fantastic trade where 40 cents in the money on it, and it's just taking out days high, despite the NASDAQ pulling back a little bit right now. So here we go. He is in the building and on the podium right now. So Meta is flushing just a little bit here. Yeah. Flushing, no, it's not actually. Nothing's happening. I thought Meta was flushing. It wasn't. So we'll watch out for that. We have shares, so the net's kind of fluctuating
Alphabet
a little bit.
was cruising and just kind of turned.
Did Alphabet turn?
Yeah, a little right turn there.
We're gonna. So Powell, of course, ACK. We don't have it in our ear. Brendan's listening. Sound and resilient was the first thing he said about the banking crisis. So is that true, Brendo? Yeah. So Brendan's laughing at all that. So I find it just as fun. When Brendan showed that sheet and that was the first thing on there, I was like, okay, it's gonna be a cracked out thing because I don't know what these guys are doing right now. You know, it's better to be on something a little lighter than cracked. But
you imagine if he actually spoke honestly? Like if they said like real. There's a looming credit crisis coming in the banking sector that we're looking to somehow magically avoid while we're continuing to raise rates, which is squashing the. Well, anyway, he would never say that.
I just feel like the pressure they applied to some of these regional banks is basically done the job of rate hikes. So that's what I'm expecting to hear him say, something along those lines. So we're just going to wait. We're only in Meta. You guys know my play for Softy. If that comes down, we're getting pretty close to that rate now. I'm going to lessen these shares right now on Microsoft because and again, this chart, guys, I apologize again, 10 times out of 10. But if we do come into this area, we do want to grab that long here at 306.50. So I'm sitting there bidding, and I just changed my default to a third of what we wanted in the first place because the way this is moving down there, maybe it doesn't even get to 306, first of all, because now it's stopping to go the other way. I was just a little scared there. Now I've lost a little bit of faith in this resilient talk here about the banks, but you know, Meta just denied. I have to put a fill there. This is going
39
to look,
is holding over and over again.
Right. This is going to look silly though. I really do have a feeling this is going to be a silly trade, but I'm going to take it. I'm going to take $1 on it. Right. So 38.70. That's just where we bounced off of. I mean, I'm drawing these lines on purpose, whether or not it's Fed day or not. That's the 50 period, and we just bounced off of it. Coincidence or not? It's there. That's part of what technical analysis is, right? Is trying to figure out, like, you know, where are their supply and demand zones? And this 50 period hasn't meant that much. But look, dip down, hold, dip down, hold. Here it didn't do anything. That's Fed. So obviously it's not going to hold. So right there, I didn't think it was going to hold again, but this time it did. So we're just going to bid here 38.70. If we do get that fill, we're going to get out of a third of what we have, and then we'll let it drop back in for that. Any other names doing anything? I mean, we talked about the TQQ possibly making a move. It got as high as 28.10, I believe. Yeah, 28.07, something like that. So that didn't get anywhere near a level that I was looking at. Can you believe it? I mean, I think Starbucks has some of the best. I mean, it's better than Tim Hortons, better than McDonald's as far as coffee is concerned. Obviously, if you're an independent, you're probably going to beat both of these. But Starbucks today, wow, down 8 and a bit %. Nice move up for Starbucks right there, up to 105. But we were down even more. Like, we were down another $1.50 from here, down to 103 change. Our very bottom is 103.80. So you're actually down another $1 from here. So watch out for Starbucks trying to go right now. And there it is. So we'll go ring the cash register on that one. Man, did we ever get a good price there. We'll see. Just happy it came back. Normally I'll chase that move, but we waited pretty patiently there. Now where are my bids? I have one at 36.
I
right
just took
now.
one at 75.
Same. I got the exact same fill.
Someone just asked me what the.
Ooh, I got 78s.
Someone asked me the risk to reward on Mullen. I don't mind. Like nothing crazy is happening right now. I'm just in meta. I'm looking for dip buy. Intel. Maybe we'll get that. It's pretty simple. Like 7.5, just above 7.5. I'm not really short exactly at 7. It just when we trade a penny stock, it doesn't have all the zeros that would go past it. So I actually have a 7.14 average price because I got some at 40 and then I loaded in at 7 even. And I'm just looking for a drop into 5. So I'm just going to sit in all afternoon. This worked for Bed Bath & Beyond. We'll see if it works for Mullen. As we get the last couple of minutes, 25 minutes into Power Hour here. Powell hasn't done anything crazy to these markets. But now, okay, Brendan, now we're starting to move.
Pretty hawkish so far, guys. He's talking about high inflation still affecting the housing market specifically, with both pricing and demand remaining high. And then going back to that last PCE number that we got as well, certain portions of that PCE number that we talked about when it came out, still higher than expected and remaining pretty sticky. So pretty hawkish so far.
Yeah, oh my goodness. The one I got out of, look at that 165 on Tesla. Oh my goodness, why am I not in it? I'm sitting there like, come on, do the old thing where you rally the market, Jerome, and I'll just go long 165 on Tesla. When all day, when I stop shorting 165 is when it clearly is the best because that's how it rolls. But it is holding 163, which it was holding before. Like my best out was in front of 163. But if we break this down, you can forget about it. The only thing I like to alongside, well, I mean, I know I like Intel to alongside. Google was so strong.
Patience, young fellow, patience.
But Amazon, look, you talk about things that double tap the high. Amazon double tapped the high as well. So you have monster levels, 165 on Tesla, 106 on Amazon. If we get any kind of a bounce, those are going to be huge levels to play off of. Amazon, if it's a stink bid, it's way too far down to consider. But this suddenly is turning into a bit of a red day. All I have is Meta because I got out of Tesla. Going to try to give it a little bit of time, see if we can't get a pop. I like to join the trend, but I don't want to chase it too much. Meta's now flushing. It's now $2 in the money. Oh my goodness, what is still at the highs that we can get? Where the hell's NVIDIA right now? NVIDIA, no, I can't chase it. It's at 280.
Oh my God, my Microsoft. See, it didn't
$3.5,
fail
$4
again.
down on NVIDIA. That's a huge retracement. Sometimes I was thinking maybe he could rally us, so wasn't really geared in outside of Meta to grab that short trade. I got one on, but it's not really that I'm looking for. It's where can I get a short position at a reasonable price where I'm not chasing the bottom? Because what did the NASDAQ just do? We just went right back into the support level. Finding a short down there is a very tricky one. You want to be breaking down that level, not bouncing off of it to go short and get trapped. Brendo?
I could see a bit of a bounce here, guys. Yeah, we're coming back up a little bit. So he went from very, very hawkish to kind of wrapping up that thought by saying, going forward, they're going to take a very data-dependent approach into what they do next. So not necessarily saying, that's it, we're going to pause, but they're going to say, we'll wait and see what happens from here.
Intel is refusing to go down.
That's good.
Like, okay, when I say refusing, like it was at 30.90, it went to 30.70. Now
Holy
it's in the
shit,
80s.
Microsoft.
This is like ridiculous. This stock is strong.
Money.
Oh man. It's a really damn good thing that we used half of our out there on Microsoft because we talked about that 306.50 fill. By the way, look at that fill on Meta. 237.50 right there. Just before we're gonna go to Brendan in a second, but there's the trade on Microsoft, man. We told you going long at 306.50. We just got a piece out there at 307.50. We'll talk about what we did before that. But what's up, Brendo?
So the first queue is being answered right now, guys.
All right, cool.
The first. Oh,
That's what we went to Brendan for. All right, but that's an important.
No, of course. He's taking
I'm
questions.
just playing around. Yeah, we do want to be able to see what's happening with this Q&A. And again, we are long right now at $1.50 in the money on Microsoft. So here's the dip down through 306, man. We take that 70-cent hit, and then we take a dollar on the upside, and now we're starting to go. Not only that, man, like a thief in the night, we just robbed Meta blind pretty much right there. Again, taking that out on Meta, and that's... When you see these exhausted flushes, man, I mean, this is the difference between a Sean that is looking at 1 or 2 stocks and a Sean that's looking at 7 or 8. When you're looking at one name and you see a flush like that, it's very easy to get shares out because, I have more shares to go. So it's like, Neil and I, like if you're not looking at Microsoft, you know, and you don't have your stops, the next thing you know, you're like, oh my God, where's this name? But we already know where these names are. So we're watching out for Meta there as Softy continues a nice little dollar in the money.
Oh, boom. Oh, no. Damn it. Okay, my debt chart's going to crash too. I thought I just cleaned up a wick on Intel there, so it's about to crash that chart. I just grabbed the long. You can see it on the board there off this 80 level, kind of retracement to 80. This is a bad dark pool wick. The bottom rests underneath 70. Although I would give this to 60 and work into the long. I knew this wanted this for a dip buy. Now it's just a pure breakout. It just got to 31 even, so I'm going to get some out in front of 31 even. Oh, that's right. That did crash, so I can't show you there because I don't have executions on this chart. So I just took some out in 31 even. I'll look 10s, 20s, 30s, all the way to the upside. Now that we're looking like a breakout, this was the one I wanted long. Now it's starting to get going. Brendo?
A bit of a change in the forecast here, guys. So now Powell's saying they're expecting modest growth. That's versus a recession, if you remember. So saying modest growth versus a recession. He also said, guys, the changes that were made to the statement are quote unquote meaningful as we were talking about how they're going to approach hikes going forward.
Okay, back up.
Meaningful, huh? Okay. All right. You know, what's been meaningful today has been the cash cow that has been Meta, and we'll just, oh my God, oops, Brittany, we did it again. We just shorted Meta again at 240 right there, and we'll take 50 cents clean good right there at 50, and now we'll hold the rest. Again, you know, we know where our stop is. Our stop is 50 cents away, so we'll go 1-to-1 on that. And then here is Microsoft. I don't know, if you're joining us for the first time here, I'm not, you know, I don't want to say we do this all the time, but like the last couple Fed days have been like,
Money,
and we're going to continue to have fun trading these names, man. There it is again, man. A great little short coming through one more time for this name. And you know, Microsoft long. Look where we're long. We're in the money $1.50 right now. It just came back into the hot. I want to hold So Microsoft, I'm not super. That's half out. It's half out for 50 cent, 60 cent hit for sure. Then a quarter. I only have a quarter left. Half there, a quarter here, a quarter left. So let's wait to see. That's a dollar. That is 70 cent hit. That's a dollar win. So we're about flat on the trade now. And then, you know, anything that we have right here is profit, but the market is pulling back. And quite frankly, I have more shares right now on Meta than I do in Microsoft, so I don't mind a pull back in right now for Meta. Meta's been the money dance song for me today, and it's going to hopefully continue that way. I don't know, Neil, man. I know you're on Tesla. I'm expecting that to be moving around.
It hasn't broken 160.
Oh, okay.
It's crazy.
Oh, 168?
No, 165.
Right,
it
okay.
won't break 165. The new position
Bye-bye,
for me
Meta.
was, of course, getting into Intel. I got another leg out at 31 because it just got to the even dollar and turn. These stocks are just going to even dollar levels and kind of turning around. So we'll pick up the bid again on a bit of a dip. But it's Tesla. I mean, Tesla's ridiculous at that 165 level. You can see, I actually just tried to get some 90s. The last time is the only time it didn't get right in 90. Now you're flushing back in. I'm in Meta as well, but I mean, I'm going to talk about something just so we're not talking about the same thing over and over again. Sure. But if Meta can't hold, if Meta bounces again off that last dip, that 38 area, it might just be get out time to be for good. Because quite frankly, like that's too much support at that level. So Tesla 165 is still the jam. The new position for me is going to be Intel. If I like a long, I'm going to go for the trend upside here. We're still up on the day, but you know what level we just rejected on the NASDAQ? 13.3. We got to 13.3. Now the market be coming back in to the downside. So that's what we expected this could be the case. That's exactly what's happening here. Again, apologize for the wicks. I can't do anything about them. Apple, just to give you another one, Apple is still holding its high. So if you're just shorting anything off the top, whether it's 240 Meta, 165 Tesla, 171 Apple, Google hasn't broken the high of the day, Amazon hasn't broken the high of the day, all of these are valid off that 13.3 level over there on the NASDAQ. It's just you got to pick and choose your poisons. Again, I just lost, damn it, I lost my NASDAQ chart. There we go. That NASDAQ chart just pulling back up because it went minimized. You're bouncing off the low, 13.18, and then into 13.3. So if we bounce off the bottom again, wherever Intel is at that bottom and it starts to turn, I'm just going to go long Intel. It's more about what's happening in the futures, and I'll play whatever support level the market wants to give me because I'm taking a relatively strong stock long, and anything else, you're fading off the high.
All right. Wow. I don't even, you know, we don't want to talk about the same name. So if there's anything else you guys want to do, yo, John Sproul, what's up to you as well? What's up to everybody there in the 25-point increase? We've already talked about that. To everybody, Powell needs to do a mic drop at the end. I would love that. It is a snipe.
It'd be jokes if he did.
What's up to Sniper right there, Ponzi Fonzie? I agree, man. I don't know. We have an axe in the YouTube thing. That's pretty cool right now. But I do think that it is a chop fest. You are right there, Ponzi Fonzie. So I'll give you a shout out for that one, man. You are on target there. What's up, T Daddy?
Stay on target.
As you go there, stay focused, stay disciplined as well. And if you're doing that, then you're good to go, man, because there's another out for us as we watch out to see where Meta goes. We already have our targets on that one. We're really loving life, man, because right now Meta and Microsoft are both dollar in the money, both these names. They're not going to last like that, so this is where we're just trying to wait to figure out what exactly is going on here in all this. There's our long. I wish we didn't have that dropout, but honestly, if that continues down even more, then I don't, you know, like that's, even though we went only to a third of the shares that we really wanted, like that's a problem if that continues to go. So I always have targets to get out, and I've switched up the strategy where I basically never get out. I'll get out of everything of Meta because we take that too many times. But if this is like a first entry or something that we're pretty confident on, I'm not getting out of everything when we just break VWAP like that. No, we're going to wait. If we break support or resistance, we're going to wait a little bit in order to get out. We're going to get out at the price, but we're not getting out of 100% because I used to do that and then I try to get that bottom, but a lot of the time I miss it, and the next thing I know I turn over and we're all the way back here, which is exactly what happened this time. It's not even, it's like 1 minute. This was like 30 seconds. A huge flush down, then all the way back up. It just looks like that because the chart filled out. So right now we're going to watch out for that. I'm going to go over to the banks right now. Hopefully that chart looks a little bit better. A little bit weak, down 1.3. I thought it might be a little bit more than that because again, whenever someone tells you that everything is all right, it kind of means it's not. So it's, I mean, I have kids and you know, that's for sure. Oh, what was that noise? Nothing, Daddy. Oh, okay, so we're cool. No worries. And then I go upstairs and like the fish tank is like everywhere. You know, so that's never happened, but you know, that's, shut out. If my wife's watching, she's like, "Oh my God, what happened when I wasn't there?" But no,
nothing, Daddy.
Nothing happened right now. What was that huge bang that I just heard? Nothing. But all right, let's just continue to go.
I would just say, as long as you're fine. That's my response to that. I'm like,
oh
as long as you're okay.
Like, do I hear like severe like crying or anything?
Because you know the sound.
If you hear silence, that's kind of bad too, because that means like
bang silence bad.
They kind of want to tell you, but they don't want to tell you.
Oh, don't show me a firm is at 10.
Has kids out there.
Oh my goodness, why did I need to be? Judge just put in the chat there that a firm is getting close to $10. Oh yeah, is that another stock worth a fade? $10 has been kind of this really decent, not kind of like a weird pivot point here. Like when you get there, you just make a decision. Like the last couple times it was at 10, give it to 10.10, and it's been a flush. Or sometimes it doesn't go. When it's broken away from that price, it's managed to get to 10.50. So I liked 165 Tesla. I'm not back into that one. We've talked about Meta. I like the Intel long. Do I want to stretch on over to one of the up 9% a firm? Maybe that's a stay away from zone at the $10 short is what I'm going to tell myself here. Maybe too strong to be thinking about the fade. Like that's relative strength if I've ever seen. I didn't realize a firm was having such a great day. Not sure why, but let's go to Brendan.
Just a quick update, guys. This is a good 12, 15 minutes now. He's been asked about nothing but bank failures. So still talking bank failures is Mr. Powell.
Not doing anything. Yeah, like if you're watching PAC-W, I just checked that. That's not moving. Western Alliance, if it'll load. Up on the day, so good recovery for Western Alliance. That's a good sign. Up 3%, not doing much. So good thing that it's not flushing. But not really, like no huge recovery or anything like that. That's a good sign. It's a good sign this one's holding up there. PAC-W kind of flat-ish on the session. Up at 6%, sorry, YouTube 37 just said up at 6%. I'm not sure what you're referring to. Maybe let me know. I was just talking about a firm. Obviously, you can't be talking about that because that was up 9%. So I'm going to go back to the well until the well runs dry. And 31 is trying to break out here. If there's a break of the highs, I'm going to be long over 31 on Intel. But I need to see the market going with me. And then if you look over at NVIDIA, which is another chip name that's holding out on strength, this is still above that 280 level. Just Intel's up on the day, NVIDIA's red. That's the only difference. Both of them are still holding the upper band of the channel, so 280, good support level there. What do I think about CCL? Bigfoot, this is a flat day-ish for the Fed. I have not looked at CCL because NCLH I thought was the better play for a long post their earnings, but a good upward trend. NCLH has been money above 14. That's the difference, and CCL has yet to break the 50 period or get past $10 for its own breakout. So I would say, obviously earnings are a big deal, but you kind of look at which chart is more bullish. I can tell you, breakout of the 50 period, holding above the 200 period, broke the bottom end of the channel. NCLH is stronger. Take it for what it's worth. CCL breaks 10 and it gets spicy because that has a decent short interest.
I'm, what? Got longer on Microsoft? What just happened there? We had another 306 bid? What? I didn't realize that. Okay, I'm gonna have to figure this out here because if this breaks down below, oh no, I still have my stop order out. Okay, that's fine, 305.50. I actually didn't realize we had a bid here on Microsoft, but that was a good one, I guess. I'm gonna take advantage of that. Honestly, this is just a mistake there. So we'll ring the register on it, but I was really concerned. Let's just see what happens with Microsoft. But I'm looking right now as Meta just made another bottom. We are $3. We were $3 there, almost in the money, as we almost took down 237.50, and there's the bump right back to the upside. So now we're like equal with Meta and Microsoft. What's up, Brendan?
Kind of interesting, guys. He just said a decision on a pause was quote unquote not made today, but he said in general they won't have to raise rates as much. I mean, obviously going forward. So they didn't decide to pause today.
Well, yeah. I mean, we know
they didn't decide to pause. Is that why they raised the quarter point?
I mean, yes, that's implicit.
Yeah.
I guess.
That's a strange one there.
Always get those nice and clear answers.
Yeah, nice and clear.
Stability is essential, you always hear him say. I am still taking bids on Mullen, just so everyone, just in case you're worried.
Oh,
if he gets to 5, I'm all over the bid. I just got another one. That just continues to do, whoops, I hit the wrong one. No, it's not going. I don't want to give it the wrong impression. It continues to flush itself down the toilet. That's what's actually happening on the stock.
My God.
But, Intel is starting to come back down, so I'm looking to buy the dip in here into VWAP on it. Couldn't break 31, but man, okay, Meta's now at 237. That's the level it needed to bounce off of. But obviously, this is a moment where your shorts are laughing, and I have one long position. The question becomes, can this bounce and hold its trend on Intel above 3060?
All right.
Money.
I mean, Meta has become a pretty ridiculous stock for me today, but there it goes, man. Right down, like, look at that, 237 clean. We got some out at 238, man. I put a stop in when we right back up through 238 because we had that Microsoft trade, but then Microsoft just got taken out again on that 50 break. But again, we were just long at 80s or whatever it was, out at 50. And we did get a piece out on the top side as well. So Microsoft and all of this, believe it or not, because we have some top ticks. Well, we don't have a top tick, but because we have that, all of this is flat trade. Now it goes. This is a flat trade as well, but there goes Microsoft. This is ridiculous to trade right now because you're not getting fills at levels, and then when it goes down to certain prices, like you don't know if you're good or not. So I'm going to sort of hold off on all this. We're just going to keep the short on board that we have. It's Meta, and Meta right there just went up $1.50 in a minute, right? So you're gonna have to definitely widen out your stops if you're trading anything tech related. I almost feel like, I'm not having any heart palpitations or anything like that, but the way this is making your net go back and forth here, it's like,
have yourself a Timbit. You'll feel.
No, I'm not. I mean, I could have another coffee at any time, obviously.
See, I make myself feel less guilty if I make other people eat Timbits, because I feel like I could have another one. But I didn't even get those. I had multiple bids down there in front of VWAP on Intel. It bops to the downside, and it gets close enough, and then doesn't fill anything, and then pops back up toward 31. So it is a bit tricky, and it's very choppy. I'm still waiting for Tesla 165, but look at this, right? Like you're basically, it's not barcoding, because I'm not going to sit here and tell you that a dollar range is barcoding. That's not reasonable to say. But for us to still be inside the range on a Tesla, which is pressing this high, for Apple to be, Apple's got, again, dollar range, like 170.60, 169.60, just back and forth. So look, if you got it on and it's good, just kind of hang on to it. Basically, if you go to these support levels, you have to be at least a little bit in front of it or you're not getting the fill. That's my experience because that's what's happening to me. You know, this last little dip, there's a wick in here where it legitimately got down and tagged the 70s in Intel, didn't fill anything, and then goes right back up to the 90s. Like, that's the market we're in. So when it's range bound, the algos are clearly on the strong stocks, they're buying dips, and on the weak stocks, they're selling in front of the resistance level, which means you got to jump out just a little bit farther in front. So a little wider stops by a tad, and maybe smaller size when you're trying to refill those positions. But outside of that, I mean, I'm not going to get into this where I'm chasing moves too much. We don't even have a defined direction yet, which at 255, correct me if I'm wrong, usually we have a better sense of direction. It feels like we've rejected the high, but that's only to support the bottom. If I had to say one way or the other, what does it feel like the most? I mean, despite the fact that it holds an upward trend, it's a rejection of a significant top. And a lot of times that pretends itself to reversal. But since he took the podium, it's kind of a nothing burger. I don't know.
Yeah, no, you're right.
AMC about to be high a day?
I'm just trying to make sure that people don't get caught offside here because it's not really moving
No.
too much. And I think that I've
No
made some
position is a
mistakes.
position.
Look, I made some. I mean, I haven't made any mistake. We're up more now than we were before the Fed. So
I just
mistakes,
hit at it.
Mistakes not really happening. But the thing is, there it is. Yeah, let's move.
It is high of the day.
AMC. The NASDAQ is?
No, AMC.
Oh, yeah. All right, you want to go over to Neil? I was just going to talk about how you're never going to be perfect, and I talked about this on
no
the
such
midday
thing.
show.
No
or
such
was
thing.
it you and I that? I think it was you and I maybe.
We've said that before, though.
But we were talking about it today? I can't remember. Anyways, yeah,
been a
that
long
was the
day.
whole point, was that you're never going to get the very top or the very bottom. You're going to put in stop orders sometimes that are completely offside, and you're going to get bad outs. And that we talked about that with the wicks and so on and so forth. So definitely haven't capitalized on everything here today, but I do think that Amazon down here, look at all, you want to talk about people getting exhausted candles right down there. I believe these are real. When Amazon, I looked at it, it confirmed it on eSignal as well. Down here to 104, 104.50, and every time we went down, we just got bought right back up. So Amazon's a name of interest for me right now as well, down here at 104, 104.50. So that's really held. I don't know about shorting Amazon right now. We're up to 1.3%. We've seen this market absolutely take off when Powell's done. So I'm just waiting in my ear from Brendan to say, he gone, and then when that's true, then I'm just going to play the momentum of the market. If the market goes down, if the market starts heading downside, Intel, by the way, up 4%. I know you were talking about that's crazy.
It's having a good day.
Yeah, it's having a
I
great
just changed
day.
it for fun, because sometimes that makes the market move.
This bull is just not as defined. Like, he doesn't have, the other one has that mouth. Like, this just looks like.
It also doesn't work on camera
There.
because if you look at
Yes,
Katrine's
you're right.
chair, that's kind of a problem because now you can't even
Katrine,
see
where's that other bull?
Where's our other one? Like, somebody stole it. You can't be
Thank you,
stealing
man.
our.
You guys
There
tell
it is.
us. This is not like a race relations or anything like that.
Uh-oh.
No, I'm just going to say, what do you
Ignite
guys
the
like,
war.
the black one or
You can't even tell.
the cream color one? I guess is this, skin color? I don't know.
See this. So this dude has better vision. Like he's got better peripheral
Yes,
because
this guy's
the eyes
eyes are
on
like
the
basically
side.
like pointing straight
You
up.
can't see. Come on, you had no peripheral vision with that nonsense. Yo, you coming at this dude from the side? That's vulnerability right there.
Yes.
Predator's gonna eat that sucker. So I'm just saying.
I'm just wondering for the show. I'm not talking about
This
actually
bull
like
can just,
where this would be in a fight.
That
or
bull's
anything.
lying. This bull's lying in the cut, able to see everything in front of him.
I vote for me, just because of how it looks on the screen. I would vote for the cream one.
Well, obviously because you can't see this damn thing.
Yeah, and what is this is okay, so the bear I think is the same color. Okay. So the bear is all good.
I saw that Bigfoot.
Yeah, so we don't
Oh, what are you gonna do? It's a 50-50 shot.
I give up, man. I have to trade. I don't know. All right, one more
What
time.
are we doing here?
I don't know what we're doing. There we go. Shout out to Randy, who's on the ones and twos.
He's gonna elbow it anyways. I mean, let's be
right now.
realistic.
Yeah, like meanwhile, Meta just went up and down another $1 there, but right back where we are. Amazon not giving me that bottom pick. So if there's anything you guys want us to look at, Nvidia's about to turn green right now.
Look, AMC is at the high of the day, but it's not moving that much that I would say let's go.
Look
'Cause I
at
don't
this
mind.
wick
That's
again.
moving
Oh my
well
god.
over it.
Oh god. I'm gonna have to edit this wick out just to show you guys stuff here.
Okay, this-
240. All right.
Just letting you
go
guys
ahead,
know,
yeah.
I'm getting on the offer again. Every time Intel has gotten to 31, I'm just offering 99s because it's bouncing, it's getting to 31.
Still in the
it
middle.
won't
How are you
break,
gonna trade?
And I still can't. I'm just waiting for the bid, and the top is 31. So what the hell else are you gonna do? It's strong, yes. Where the hell? It's not going anywhere. What is Datadog doing? You guys were talking about Datadog. You can tell I watch like Star Trek. But yeah, up 4.5%. It's not even going anymore. It's still inside the range. You know what we got to do here? We're just gonna, every single prompt we can that usually makes the market move, we're going to hit them over and over again. We'll hit this one.
Hola, like and subscribe today.
Perfectly timed for Power Hour because we want action. I know there's been some great trades. Meta's been a fantastic short. You're not losing money on strong stocks. Like if you're like Intel's made money, it's okay. You could be buying bottoms and tops on Apple and making money. You could be going short Tesla 165 to 164. But quite frankly, that's not what we're looking for.
I'm challenging someone. Like,
want more. What's going on?
Nothing. Every stock I look at is like I called up NVIDIA hoping to see something. Okay,
Nothing's
so
breaking the range.
right in the middle, doing absolutely nothing. Okay, well AMD is probably moving, right? Because they have earnings. Okay, in the middle again. I mean, it's down. AMD might be a long because you have these bottom wicks down to 8160, 8180. I think we could probably test this long. The S&P is now up. I'm going to just kind of talking myself into this.
That's true. That was a very obvious point there.
Patrick Mahomes' brother?
Yeah. His family.
I'm not worried about that.
His family does some things.
Yeah. That's cool. Thanks, Sharif. On that one, give me some market information here, there, Sharif. But no, we're just playing around. Okay, so shout out to your QB1 or QB1A, B.
Whoa, he hit my QB1.
I said AB.
Josh Allen is my QB1.
Apparently, Jalen
Patrick
Hurts is
Mahomes
going
is
to
my
be the
QB2.
QB1, apparently.
I have both of them. I'm in 2 fantasy leagues that are 2 QBs, and I got Mahomes and Josh Allen. So you darn well know I'm starting out every single season looking at the fantasy playoff schedule when you got those 2 dudes as your QBs. But Mahomes is a QB2 because the best quarterback in the NFL is Josh Allen.
Yeah. Fantasy-wise, yeah.
What fantasy-wise? For real?
No, but he's never won anything.
Let's not start, Mr.
No.
Okay, well, look, man. How long is Aaron
my
Rodgers?
team has rings.
How long Aaron Rodgers play in the league? And how many rings he have?
If Josh Allen can have the longevity of Aaron Rodgers, then yeah, I
I
expect him
think
to win at least 1 ring.
Okay.
I mean, that's the problem with Aaron Rodgers. The guy shit the bed literally the last 10 years. I mean, we're 13-3 every year. And then he gets a home game against what? Jimmy Garoppolo and the San Francisco 49ers, and the guy can't do shit. They got 7 points that game. Give me a break. Have fun, Jets, as far as that's concerned. And also, not only is he screwing the Jets, but he brought over Alan Lazard and Randall Cobb and all those guys. Like,
the Jets had legit wide receivers who they get rid of.
Yeah. No, we're not going to look at Garrett Wilson anymore, but you got Randall Cobb running across the middle. I don't know, man. I hope they have some wheelchairs over there as well.
You know what the equivalent of that is? It's like imagine you come in, so I'll use you as an example. So imagine you come in every single day and make money trading on AMD.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden.
Well, it's not happening right now, but yeah.
Okay, but you know what I'm getting at.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, like somebody, like there's some new IPO, like I don't know, some new semi company IPOs. Like, let me just go over there and throw everything at that because they're like, we're coming at AMD. You just switch gears. Like, why? The Jets had talent. You bring in a new quarterback. You don't have to throw it all away. Who cares, man? The Oilers tonight, that should be fun. Lots of things we can talk about for sports. Meta's coming down. Tesla's starting to come to the downside. I got to worry about.
I said I wanted him
over-under on Intel.
First.
Oh, man. This is, okay, so I'm going to get out. I'm now taking it out at 94 on Intel because that just, as I saw the market come in again, we wick-topped another time here in Intel 31s, and then you're back under. So this could get a little bit weaker as the shorts are starting to play. I can't even get Tesla. Where's NVIDIA?
These
I
shorts
keep looking back at NVIDIA. This is it's not a great price. You're not getting a good price on NVIDIA up here. Alphabet, you're getting a good price on Alphabet.
Happy.
Load. You're getting a terrible price on Alphabet to be short. Yeah, there's not a heck of a lot. Randy just yelled out Ford. Nothing probably. It's still at 12. Ford has a 6-cent range, 7-cent range on the Fed day. 7-cent range, up 1.3.
Not only Fed day, Neil. Wasn't it earnings?
Oh, yeah, well, yeah.
No, but I'm saying that's embarrassed. Like,
I'm still stink bidding Ford at 11 from the pre-market, which I'm going to cancel, obviously. I have some orders I should probably be cleaning up because they're not going to come into play. And some stop orders from the morning that I still have out there that I shouldn't have, so I'll clean some of that up. Yeah, just the same 3 positions on. I'll hold Mullen probably to the close. Tesla definitely sets up to be sure if you can get a move in this market. But like, I'm not gonna. Here's the thing. I know a lot of people, it's like, yeah,
he's
do
still
more,
on. You can
put
see
on
him right
trades.
there. He's still on.
He's still on the podium. The initial move
Come on,
on my
AMD.
60-minute, so the first hour on the Fed, we basically held the bottom, ran to resistance, and then came back. And since then, like since 3 o'clock power hour, you're tight inside the range. Like find yourself a scalp trade or just kind of lay back. Like I'm scalping Intel a little bit, but there's not much else to do. You can really get whipped around and just lose money here. And I don't, you don't want to lose money in the afternoon if the big opportunities weren't there. So, hold on to it if it's in the money working, do a little scalping like we're doing here, if that's your cup of tea, or be chill and calm down a little bit. And there was a good example. All you got to do is frame it okay. See, it looks a little bit better if you don't have.
Yeah,
it's a little bit better.
But she
frame it over here.
It's because she has her black jacket there. So I mean, in the summer or whatever.
Did you knock it over again? Oh goodness. It's just taking.
On my side or your
and
side?
why can't it stand properly? Seriously.
It's intimidated.
Yeah. It's hard to be a bull when the market's range bound.
Okay, so here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
Nelly.
Here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
Now the market's
Oh my
moving up.
God.
Trying to go back up here. So we've got AM Dizzle right now with a 20-cent winner, but we had to hold this 20 cents against us. So we'll take out literally a piece, and then we'll wait to see what happens now moving forward. So there it is right there. It goes against us down to 80s, like I said, 82. So when it comes up to 20s, we take a piece out, and then here it comes right back in again. So yeah, range-bound market to say the least. I'm now going to put a bid. Because we got that out, I'm going to put a bid down there at 80 and just reload that same share that we just got out. So we'll do that again if it comes back in. And I am sitting on lower. I'm sitting at 50 for AMD, and then I'm sitting at 20. No, I'll cancel at 26. I'm sitting at 21 as well. So there you go, a little out there. And then, of course, Meta went up and down again as well. Maybe Meta's just holding this 237.50. I don't have very many shares left in Meta, so our out is still intact. If we break through 240, what is that very top for Meta there? I just don't want to be 240.20. I'm just going to give it to that, man. If we break 240.20, I'm going to get out. But that's a dollar
I just
away.
got out at that last 38.
Yeah.
And, I gave up the ghost on that one. I just went back because I went over to Tesla, and of course, it was bouncing. It was getting up to that 65. I'm like, let's go. We're getting the highs on Tesla. That's the short 165. And then you saw what just happened. So now it's absolutely flushing because obviously Tesla doesn't want to give anybody any fills. Go to Brennan.
So 3 meetings in a row here, guys. He's been asked multiple times about rate cuts because the interest rate market and the Fed funds futures market is pricing in a cut by the end of the year. And for the 3rd straight meeting, he's basically said, we're not going to cut. So the market's pricing in the cuts, but Fed Chair Powell is saying we're not going to cut, and they'll remain data dependent, as we've said, going forward on decisions.
So again, I feel like that's another lie.
Not going to cut.
No, because if you're data dependent, what if the data turns in your favor? Then don't you cut?
I mean, potentially.
Yeah. So we'll wait. We'll wait
reading
to
those
hear
tea
about more
leaves
on
is
that
kinda-
one. Yeah, you
kinda
got to
crazy.
read through everything.
Yeah,
I'm just talking tongue in cheek. Like I don't know.
No, but it's not. It's not
and
untrue.
you want to trust. I mean, he is the Fed president. I mean, you like to or chair. You'd like to see him, speak properly and what he really thinks. And I think that is what he thinks. 237.50 right there on Meta. If we can, Randy, are we frozen?
Can you guys hear us? We're back.
It says
Okay,
back.
you guys can hear us.
If everybody just
Give us
refreshes their feed.
Yeah, just refresh the feed if you can hear us. Mine is frozen, so I can't.
Mine is also frozen.
Mine is frozen, but if you guys
Michael.
can hear us, try to let us know. We'll get on it, obviously, so I'm hoping you guys can still hear us. The market is actually more heavily reversing as we talk about it. So, yeah, I mean, bears versus bulls all over it. JP Morgan's at the low of the day.
They're shutting us down.
And potentially, yeah, they don't want us to show you what's going on.
They don't want the truth.
As they rug it. But I'm watching to go low of the day here. So I'm watching JP. So I'll take a breakdown and then work it back into this consolidation. Hopefully, I hope you guys can actually even hear what I'm saying here. So there goes JPM through the low. I am now shorted. That'll pop in as we now have a move to the downside. Intel, we'll see if we reload that one, but the trend looks like it's going the other way, at least temporarily here.
Trying to see. I see the clock.
Is
think
it-
We might be back.
I
Are we back?
can't. Mine's not back.
I think we're back. I really think we're back.
Mine's not.
But I put
Oh,
some
no.
stuff in the chat. I don't really see anybody. Oh, there you go. It's one. Yeah.
I think
Yeah,
maybe
watch out
now
for
I'm
the
back.
Kirkland vitamins there, bro. As Sharif is here. Okay, so Meta again is at that bottom. I hope you guys can 37 and change. We should probably be taking some profit on this name for sure, but we're not. And that's another wick down there at 237. So let's just wait to see what this market does, whether it gives it up or not. Meta right now pushing to the downside with the market. There's the market taking out lows. So I think we're pretty being short on.
It's already making some fresh lows here. I actually just got a fill to the downside. We're now flushing to said downside. I'm going to get a 136 even here. Intel somehow is still in the money, but everything else is really rolling over a lot more heavily. So that's one bank to the downside. I mean, BAC is probably going nuts. I'm not going to check on PACW or any of those. This is where my focus is going to be. JPM channeling down, breaking the low. This was never strong at any point this afternoon. And we kind of noticed this, that the banks sometimes are a good place to go to. I'm going to drop this bid a little closer to 136 even, just to make sure I got it on. I actually want to add to this on the trend, so hopefully we are trend to the downside. We're now breaking out to the downside. So you watch out. We're not breaking down. NVIDIA just broke 280. That's another name which has given up a major level. Not through VWAP just yet, but that 280 monster level. So I'm ringing register on JP Morgan. That'll be my one, I think, for this afternoon, or at least for the last 40 minutes here.
So we just kicked Randy out. He's going to go take a look at the stream and get that all figured out for us. So
He's
I wanna
got
thank
this.
that. Yeah, we are now $3 in the money. So, I mean, let's see if this
Money,
works
money,
out.
money,
Or
money,
stream be damned. You can't keep us down from spinning the money dance right now. So we'll see what's happening. But for right now, we are $3 in the money for Meta. And I just hope that everybody can either hear us. And thanks, Bears vs. Bulls, for keeping it real with everybody right now. Yeah, so AMD, again, another move up. We just took a piece out at 66. Again, not a great trade right now as we average into this position, and hope to see if we get something again long down here near the 40s for AMD as the market's just doing its dance. So we're going to have to wait to see if we can pick up anything on the cheap here for AMD just against that 81. That's all we're doing. We are a little bit nervous about it, so we're going to try to get out of a couple more pieces here as we go. But just to find out, let's find a place where we can get out. Jerome Powell's still on, isn't he there?
Yeah, he's saying stuff about like how much credit tightening will replace the need for cuts, basically acknowledging the credit crunch and to a certain extent, like how much is that going to do the job for him? But that mean, the credit crunch isn't necessarily good for the economy. We all understand that. So as I mentioned, JPM, I probably should take something out. I am on the bid in front of 136. Even. I moved it back a little too tight, but I'm going to try and get here. We just got some 12s. That just continues to work to the downside. This is just incredibly weak. I got another fill on Mullen, but no one cares about that. It's probably headed to 6 cents. Actually, probably almost through 6 cents, probably heading to 5. But this market is giving it up.
Randy, where's Michael?
Significantly here. I really hope. Everyone seems to say it's okay. So if it's still slow, I would just hit the refresh. Because mine seems like it's fine. My feed that I'm watching here seems like it's fine. So try to hit your refresh. We're still here for you guys. That's how we roll. We ain't going anywhere. We're trying to hit some home runs. And the direction has been down since he hit the podium. So that's the trend I'm going to work with until proven otherwise here.
All right. Yeah, I'm just hearing all this nonsense in my ear. But
Yeah.
hopefully we can get this all
Hopefully
sorted
it's
out very, very soon. And we do apologize. And we want to thank everybody for sticking with us, of course, here. So I'm just going to put in, we're already long. We're long at 73 here on AMD. I'm going to put in a stop around here just for Meta. I mean, the stop might... I don't know, man. I mean, Meta right now, the market is breaking lower. I mean, do we really, really want to deal with getting out of Meta right now, and just because we're long AMD? I don't know if that's going to be the right call, but we have these top ticks here at 237.80. We're $3 in the money on Meta. I feel like it's the wise move. So I'm going to put a trade right now, 237.80, and if we take that, then we're going to get out of Meta. So we're going to do that almost immediately. We just put an offer there. So if that rips up, we're going to get out. And at the same time, let's put another offer for AMD in case that goes up. Because if we start ripping up, let's put one at 90 there. Take 20 cents if we can on a piece of it, and then hopefully they'll both. Hopefully none will hit, but we'll wait to see what happens if we get any spikes up. Apple's still positive on the day. Look at the NASDAQ. We actually just turned red.
Yeah, the NASDAQ's red. The ES. I mean, the ES has been
Apple
red a little
down.
bit here. Apple's just broke the downside. I just saw someone put in the chat. I was checking out Melly just because someone's saying Mercado is going to announce a split after market today. So I was kind of curious to see what it was doing. Not really trading it, but Apple, you've broken support on Apple, and you're now you're flushing. Intel, I'm still in Intel. I have not reloaded. And you know what? Why?
What?
I don't know if those are still valid bids, but it's holding up pretty decently. I have an 85 long, and I'm still bidding in front of VWAP. This is holding up pretty well. I don't see much else that's kind of holding trend up, holding VWAP. If there is a bounce, at least I think I have something that can work. I know where if we get a bounce, I want to fade. That's 100% going to be JPM, which I'm in because that broke the bottom, and I don't really see any end in sight. 135, I shouldn't say that. 135 is support on JPM. The 50 period's just underneath that. If you go back to if you go back a couple of weeks, or just to last week, I should say, 135 is good support. That's a target for me here, but I would like to be adding. We still have plenty of time to go before the end of the day here. So let's see what happens. I think we got some good ones on here. Hold them if you got them. Again, the only long I like right now is going to be Intel, so I'm still looking for that bid. It's holding up decently. I just can't seem to get any fills beneath 3080.
Oh, doggy. You're on Intel still? Yeah, we just got it. We got a new position. Google finally started to go back up to the upside right now. Look, man, are you still in your meta?
I'm out.
Oh, you're out of meta.
I'm
Yeah,
out.
where did you get out?
I got my last out was at 38 even.
Oh, 38
Maybe
even.
like a touch.
That's where I got out that first piece right there. Now you're dripping down to 236.50.
I don't know about these longs.
I don't know, man. I mean, I'm long right now. I'm 11 cents in the money on Google. Just picked it up off the bottom right there. Again, made another keystroke error. In and out and out. Now it's ripping to the high side. So we're going to have to get something out here. If Meta takes this 237, we already have the out ready to go. 237.80. So if that fills, then we're out on Meta. We are really ripping it a new one right now on Google, though. Google's starting to go back up to the upside. So we really like that trade for us now. As the market getting back going here, as I just call it up, we're only up to, actually, we're not up that much on this trade as we thought. We're in the money now 30 cents. If it could still go, then that would be nice. Right back there, we've already seen 20 before, so let's put an offer there around there right now and see if we can get it. Look at Google. It's not moving pennies. It's moving like 5-10 cents at a time there. There's a 16 fill. So here we go, man. Looks like we've switched it over. It still looks like it's lagging a little bit. If you did want to try to get live, just sort of refresh your stream and see if that does work, because mine's a couple minutes behind here. But refresh it, and hopefully that will come in right now.
Oh, yeah, you're right. Mine was definitely
there.
a
It's
couple
live
minutes.
now, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, now it's fine. I think everything looks pretty good. So that sounds awesome. I finally got my fills on Intel there. So look, I like it because it's above VWAP and it's holding the trend, but I will cover some in front of 31. It's just been that kind of a day or that kind of an afternoon that I want to respect that resistance. So that's my long. This is my short. It's, I thought maybe you'd press back up on a bounce to JPM to get something a little tighter to 137. That's not happening. It's still trending to the downside. So weakness in the banks. Even as we're getting a bit of a market bounce, you're seeing JPM hold off those lows. I like that. That's what you want to see. You want to see that relative weakness. I'm checking back in on Tesla, which obviously that 165, I'm going to maybe go ahead and cancel my offer at 165. That's not really that relevant anymore. Yeah, it's too far. This is too far away. If anything, a breakdown here in Tesla makes it a short trade, and I got the short I like. Let's go, Brendo, at the desk.
One of the longer, more recent Fed meetings, Fed press conferences, just wrapping up right now, guys. He's on the last answer to the last question here. So pretty uneventful, to be honest. I mean, nothing we weren't expecting or that we haven't heard already. He spent a lot of time talking about banks and the stability of the banking crisis. He spent a lot of time talking about how they're going to approach rate hikes going forward, as I said before, but nothing really out of the ordinary or unexpected from Fed Chair Powell, guys.
All right, so they're going to be Datadog dependent, he said. So we got to go long.
That's why it's going up.
Exactly. I was going to say we got to go long on Datadog right now, but we're back to the highest spot we've been on all day. So we'll be happy with this again. It hasn't been the most eventful. Fed day. We've had moves before, multiple dollars back and forth on Apple and on Microsoft and all this.
I remember a 10 bagger on, NVIDIA took 3 steps, $4 3 times it stepped up, $4 at a time. Not today.
So not today, but we've got some good trades on. I have no no issues with sort of what we've been doing. And like I just said there, we are, making some money moves here today. So yeah, pretty happy with it. Now Google's starting to fade out. Remember where our stop was on Meta? That came pretty close to filling, by the way. That would have been embarrassing if we had that out because right now there goes Meta right back down to the bottom of the day. We did get out of half of our Google trade, so that was great. You're going to see what we're going to get out here on Google if we break 70. So again, look where we're long, right? We're long at 87, that's a 17-cent hit. We were taking out 18s and 19s, and then we did take some out at 10s, giving us that number, right? So just fell back in again. Maybe we just keep reloading these. I'm waiting. Okay, he's gone. So he gone. So now I think we can try to go long. I'm going to try to go long here on Google and whatnot. So we'll just punch in right away. This has been a strong name. The market's red, Google's green. That's why I went right over to Google. There was really no other reason other than the fact, I mean, we can look at charts and say we're at the bottom, but we're at the bottom of the NASDAQ, so I feel like you can pick and choose any NASDAQ name right now, and you're pretty close to right here. We're just going to we're going to stick with a stronger name, and that's going to be Google, and we're just going to see if it wants to work. So for right now, that's all good. Meta, again, I might just flip this over to a 237 out. The best we're going to get right now is 236 at the bottom. Let's just flip this over to 237. If that breaks 237.10, then we're out. I'm fixing my stop order.
Yeah, and okay, here's another rollover. Yeah, my Intel is about to come out here. I'm giving it a little more than that 10 pennies. And if I'm taking 80s into 31 even, then I don't want that breaking 70 on me. But here comes 136 even again on JP Morgan. I got a bit of a reload, but not a full one. Caught a little bit on the way down in this channel, and then tried to get more in the top end of the channel. Wasn't able to catch it. So we're going to get some 136 even. We're exactly... I'm bidding 03s. Let's step it in. I love what, I just pulled that. Oh, I'm not getting fill in the bid. I'll cancel bid, let it go up, and then punch. Well, it just hit the 136 and is now breaking down. I'm going to get stopped out on Intel almost any second now. Just probably another penny has to move. But the flush is definitely on. We're making some fresh lows. So if you got them, hold them until somehow not stopping out. This market seems to want the downside. I'll be rinsing and repeating JPM into the close. NVIDIA is probably heading down. I want to see if Apple is managing to hold up. Look for those big names, right? Like Apple and Soft. Apple just turned red. Big Tech, Microsoft, load. Oh boy, Microsoft's still holding the bottom, but barely at 305. I mean, these names, NVIDIA just rolled through 280. So if these can't hold up, that's when you're going to get that real flush. We're probably going to get the early look on the imbalances and yawn at it. That's my guess, but that still can't mean you don't get a big move whatsoever. Wow, Intel is holding that bid. I just told you I'm about to get stopped out on Intel, and it actually held the line at 3070. All I'm going to do is not look that gift horse in the mouth and make sure that I take the first available pop, which is happening right now. Wow, that was a nice bounce. It got 1 cent away from my stop.
Yeah, we are just...
Wow, that
was...
wow.
Right now.
Awesome.
Wow, we just talked about it. I mean, thank you for watching, and I hope you're with me because we just talked about going long Google. Trade a name that we thought was relatively strong, and there it is, man. We just put on shares out right there, and then when it comes right back up, we are cashing the hell out of that one. And Meta, of course, that falls down, so it already fell down. We'll take a 230. That's a $3 winner right there on Meta. I don't know why the hell we're flushing ourselves down the toilet. There it is, man. We knew that as soon as Jerome Powell was off the podium. This is the easiest trade you're going to find all month. We just went long everything. So not everything, but we went long everything that we're in. Google, we added to it. I literally looked over, Jerome was gone, punch long. It was discretionary, didn't even care about the price or whatever. So that's we care about the price all the time, but that's a nice move. There we go. We're now 40 cents in the money on that one, and we're only an amazing 20 cents in the money on AMD, but we did just get a fill at 90, so that was pretty good. There's the buy that I made. Let's see. I don't think this is going to rip up to infinity and beyond, but the NASDAQ was just red, trying to go green right now, and that's it, man. All the questions are done, so we just resume bullish tendencies, right? I mean, isn't that what we're supposed to do? Let's wait to see what this market does, not question it. We'll trade it. We're good. We made some great trades here for you guys in the last 2 hours. What a great day it's been for me. Not for me, for all of us here, as we are exhausted. We had an early morning, and we were putting in time on the midday show. It's all good, man. I have to watch some of that again.
I'm not caught up either, actually.
That's me too. I don't think I'm caught up either.
I haven't seen the last season.
So it's all good, man.
I love that show. Although I don't know. I heard one of the guys here in the IT was like, I love Bob Odenkirk and I love Breaking Bad, but I never got into Better Call Saul. I don't understand how that can be true. Bob Odenkirk is freaking hilarious. So if you like both those things, you got to give it a second chance there, Rob. So I reloaded, got the low of the day on JPM out, but I still have a piece on here. Again, this is now starting to break up. The long is starting to come back in. I have my long that's in the money, but if JPM and that was the bottom wick, I'm not going to hold it past that original breakdown. So that original breakdown, oddly enough, was 136.66. I'm not making it up. It really was. It is 136.66. So that's not me trying to tell you any signs or anything. Maybe I'll use this for one reload on JPM because it was already weak, and then have my stop out. So I'm going to adjust my stop because I have to. Now I just took a little more, and we'll go 136. Probably give it to 70. Let's be real.
Okay, how many people watching right now? Hey, hit the like. I mean, come on. Hit the like button for sure if you can, because we'll give you some more shout outs, some more banging trades. So we have 900 likes right now, almost 1,000. So let's get that like button going with over 5,200 people watching. And I do want to thank everybody once again for your patience, as we did have some technical problems, but we're back. They got that all solved. Thanks, Randy, everyone, Fahad, everybody over there, Mahad, anybody working in the back helping us out with that. So thanks, Juan, Michael, and everybody for getting that going for sure. I mean, I only have those two longs. We did just get out of our Meta trade, which Meta right now is still not the number one name for me today. The number one name for me is Google, but Meta's right behind it, like dollars away. And there's the out. We just took that out on a 237 break. I'm still pretty happy with it. It did go as high as 237.50. Generally, we'll use the 50 period as a marker for a trade like that, but I'm pretty happy with what we just did there, so I'm going to stick with it. That was a good trade for me on Meta today, and we've already tweeted it out, sort of, what we've been doing. There's that 240 break, and again, we have a lot of wicks, but there's 240, there's 240, there's 240, 3 times. So when you're at 237, you shouldn't be losing any money when you've just shorted 240 all day. So there it is right there. Into this, we shorted 238s, but either way, it is a nice move down for Meta, and there's our last out. So we're now out of that one as we just continue to watch Google. So that's the only name that we're in. Well, we're also in AMD, but AMD's not really doing anything. I feel like Google is the chance to go there. The reason why AMD, I'm not so confident, I'm trying to click on the right name. So we bought the bottom there for sure, I think. And we're right all the way to the 50 period, and we got out. So right there, that's 40 cents in 2 minutes. But it hasn't continued. Google's trying to hold out still up top, right? Not even coming close to retracing back. So we'll see. You're at the 200 period. I still like Google better than AMD right now.
Yeah, definitely.
Microsoft.
No, I was about to say something on NVIDIA because I did grab a short that I didn't really want. I had an order out there when we were barcoding, but at the time it was right when you're anticipating Powell would be done. I got in and out very quickly. Not a trade I wanted, but it did pop on the board probably really fast. When I got in, realized I didn't want that fill. I just got out. I actually ended up making a few pennies on it, but that doesn't really matter. So you'll see an execution. But you're getting a lower high here on NVIDIA. So you're still, I mean, I don't know, man. This one might be breaking back down at that 281. Only to say I think I like this off that 281 level. Intel might break down. I was able to get half out on the last bounce, but I'll still take a hit on the last piece. I didn't get it all out on Intel long. I'm still holding half it. NVIDIA's starting to roll back over here. Yeah, we might not be done to this downside. I haven't really jumped away. I've stayed in the pocket, but NVIDIA might have missed the boat on NVIDIA just now. That'll be frustrating because the only thing I was able to get was rolling back into JPM off the original breakdown. And as it heads down to 136, I will acknowledge 136 has been a brick wall. It's bounced off this twice, so if I see a brick wall, I'm going to, well, I mean, generally speaking, okay, resist support. If I see support level, forget about brick wall analogy, I'm just going to get some out in front of it. I'll hold half for a break of 136, and maybe we get a 135, but definitely we're headed downside. I just got stopped out of Intel, so we're definitely heading back down in. That was, I'm slapping the fail on it, only because like that was a gift. That was a gift fill, and then it could not break that upper channel. I really could have just gotten everything out there and sniffed it out. I did not, so we end up taking a hit on the last of it. It held some strength. Now it's starting to wane a little bit here. My JPM short definitely working. Yeah, you could, I mean, short all in. I see you, reliable Rudy. I just went over and saw the banks were relatively weak, and that's where I wanted to head to, and that's the one I've been basically shorting off this level. Again, I miss Tesla. NVIDIA is at a decent price. It's now breaking 280. Yeah, off the 280 level, I'll short this back into 280 on NVIDIA with a bit of a tight stop above it.
We're 10 cents away from getting our first fill on Tesla here because we are short Tesla right now. We did get out of our Google trade, so that's fine. But Tesla's, why am I not getting filled at 55 right now for Tesla? We did short that break of 162. It was the low at the time. Now we're just going to see where it goes. The problem is Tesla's still strong today in the fact that it's up. Again, sorry about that. I didn't realize we had that wick there again. But there it is, down through 162 and continuing to make a move lower. Let's see if we, I don't know, are we not going to get that fill at 50? That would be a shame if we don't. So we'll wait to see if that can come through. I'm going to get out at like a 162.50 or so, trying to give it 50 cents. If we could just get a 50-cent fill, that'll make me feel a little bit better. We're trying to get out of 20. There it is, thank you. We're trying to get out 25% of that, so we just grab that fill right there. So this is the short that I'm sort of banking with right now. Let's just see where it goes. If it does, hey man, if it gets back up, my target's right there. I told you about it. It's 160. I just gotta make sure we have that fill out. Yeah, 162.50. Unfortunately, because of these wicks, we don't. There it is right there. So it's a 200 period on the 3-minute chart. So that's what we're using to get out. So we're going to see if that is exactly something that's going to hold for us or not. But for right now, it is a downside move in Tesla, and we are now short. So it is a new position. We did just get into a short here as well with AMD. We'll get a piece out. Long, my bad. Long on AMD because it just fell down. We talked about this one possibly being weaker than the rest. So right now, AMD does fall down. We're just going to test it off 81. 81 is the bottom of the day, I believe, unless we made something else lower off the open. No, we did not. So it's right there. We've already cracked lower, 81.40. But again, on this extended move by the futures and the move down and on Fed day, let's give it a little bit of room to breathe. But what doesn't need to breathe is Tesla. Right now, that's down to 161 and still making moves to the downside.
Yeah, oh my goodness, NVIDIA, I
Meta
can almost
too.
forget about the 80s. It's trying to break that 279, which is also support on the stock. So you're getting a bit of a breakdown. I'm gonna wet the old beak here underneath that 279 level. Give me a break. Now I'm chasing you. How far do I chase? No further than 80. Okay, I just actually had to chase that to 279.80. I wanted that 79 level as it's you can see it breaking channel down, right? And if we're gonna make some fresh lows, then why not take that break? I haven't really traded this one. I could have reversed, I suppose, in Intel, but this just felt like a nicer level here. So I got a 79, probably working it back into the 80 level. JPM has been bouncing over and over and over again at 136 and continues to hold the bid. So there's a refresher. There's no size on the bid here. It's never more than like 100 or 200 lots on JPM, but somebody's actually buying shares down there, and it doesn't look like anything, but trust me when I tell you, it gets there and it doesn't want to break. So buyers on JPM at 136. I'm still shorting as it goes back up into 136.5. My stop's actually above the half mark, but the shorts are on. The shorts have been working, and quite frankly, I'm going to hold on to this one. You're breaking support on the NASDAQ. So I'm looking for places to maybe even add to that NVIDIA, if anything else. So I guess channel to the downside. We always talk about allow a direction to develop after the podium, after he hits the podium, and it feels like that direction is working to the downside. NASDAQ now down 0.5%. So as usual, if I mess around with this stupid thing, it ends up, I'm like the curse, right? Like we actually had support on the bid until I pulled that bear up on the table. Our bull up on the table, and now we're headed to the downside. So if you want to blame somebody, blame me. I'm Canadian. I can take it.
It sucks because we're absolutely destroying right now this Tesla trade as it's flushing, man. We just took that 162 bottom of the day break right there, and it's really working out. We just got out at 161.20 right here, right where it is right now. So nice move to the downside. I'm a little disappointed because we identified AMD, and honestly, it just came down here into that's the low of the day, the past low of the day, 81.40. So, that's where we're long. I'm hoping that it can come back up. I do have an offer at 27 to get a piece out, and then again at 30s. Actually, I'm going to cancel that 31. I'm just chugging the water here, trying to get some energy. 81.
I've drank a lot of coffee and water this afternoon.
Yeah, so I'm trying to get that going again. I don't know. I mean, we're out of 40% of Tesla right now, but you do have a bottom coming through. Yeah, again, We'll have to see. What is this? So it's actually Tesla's bottom. That's not the bottom of the, actually, that is the bottom of the day. Actually, that was just the bottom of the most recent move. My bad, I didn't even expand this out. The bottom of the day on Tesla's 160 flat. So I'm gonna put another bid around 160, like 160.25 or something like that on Tesla, because maybe this is the extension move to the downside. We're gonna put a bid at 160.60 right now, see if it does flush through 161, and then we're able to get a piece on that. But the thing is that having a hard time getting out of AMD right now, as it's not making a move back up. I'm at 27. The most it went to on the upside was as if it went to 27 there. Okay, I'm gonna get a piece out right now at 20, and then just get to my 27 now. If it wants to go back up, fine, but we'll take another piece out just to mitigate some of the damage, because we're long at, what's our average price? It was just 42. So we're long at 42, took a piece out at 20, that's a 20-cent hit.
Jackie.
So we'll remember, yeah, exactly. We'll remember that one if that does come into play again. Looks like Tesla's trying to bounce a bit here, so let's just get another piece out on Tesla. There it goes, we'll punch that for an, oh my God, did he just do that? I don't know, maybe we shouldn't have, but we'll take a piece out there on Tesla because at least our AMD is coming back up now a little bit. So we'll cancel that Tesla lower. Hopefully it falls even more now, but we'll take one more piece off a little bit of a barcoding action here. There it goes, of course, as soon as I do it. Now there goes 161, but anyways, we're still 40% in this name.
Just a couple of things here. I am going to get to this HCDI. Halted for the umpteenth time today. I guess I can give you an actual number because it's really easy. 13 halts today. Currently halted at 967 with a 960 tap. I would not touch this with a 10-foot pole, but congratulations once again if you've managed to find one of these runners. Another $4 stock to hit 14. So on other days, maybe in the afternoon, we'd pay a little more attention to it. I have no issues with that. You guys know that. We'll talk about them. Sometimes there's a trade there. A lot of times I might be hands off, but the market is trying to make a bottom. I just rinsed and repeated on NVIDIA. 79s to literally 78 half is going back and forth. So if it breaks down, I want to hold a piece, obviously, and I want to play that short at 79 over and over again. JP Morgan, I don't know what to tell you. I'm not saying it's not weak. It's just that somebody is forever buying 136. If this was already one of the weakest, like the bank was they're all in the lows. It was hanging at the lows. Powell came, 2 o'clock hit, and it tried to go up and then just only trended down. So when it made the bottom break, it just made all the sense in the world that this would continue to flush. Well, we're bouncing off 136, so there's not much else to do. I'm basically taking 50-cent scalp trades here and then trying to short the pops again until it breaks down. I guess there's nothing to do. Drink water every day, you're okay. I actually was just choking on my water a second ago. Thank you, Sean, for covering for so long as I was choking on my water. Shopify, ooh, that's a reversal. I just saw someone pop in there mentioning Shop, and Banzaya mentioning Shop. That's a big turnaround. And by the way, Zaya, is it Banzaya? Banzaya, maybe. 46 on Shop. This is a level, man. Look at this level at the bottom. You're down 1% on your daily. There's your 46 level. And wow, this breaks down. I'm putting this on my radar for a flat bottom break at 46. And I heard what you guys are talking about, and I agree.
Yeah. We're just looking.
Overrated.
Yeah.
Overrated.
The dollar, I mean, we have the Dixie right here. It's just as confused as the market is right now. So here's the move down on the number at 2 o'clock. Nice move down from 101.50 or so down to 101.10. And then recently, as the market move has happened to the downside, the dollar has retraced back to the upside. And again, just hitting levels again of 101.50 where we've been at lots of times. So if we don't break that, then yeah, maybe the market does have some more moves to the upside, because again, if the dollar starts retracing back down, that should spike up again, because look at what the NASDAQ has done. Maybe that's hard. It doesn't matter. Look at what Tesla's done right there. As this goes one way, this goes the other way completely. So we're going to keep an eye on the DXY right now on the dollar, because again, we're short Tesla right now and we're long on AMD. But I want to say thank you to the gods of AMD, because it just came back and we were able to get it out nicely there. 33, 34, like, we're now pretty light in this name. I'm just holding one against the other. It's going to be AMD against Tesla, and that's it. You guys can fight it out, you two, right now. But both names, AMD has been an absolute disaster off earnings, down 9%. Tesla's been a disaster today. Not today, but just in this last move, going down just in the last 30 minutes. Tesla's down $4. So it's a straight move to the downside right now. Basically the whole day's move right there to the downside. Unfortunately, guys, I can't. Ever since I logged back in at 2 o'clock, it's going to be hard for me to show the charts from before then. But there it is right now, 160.50 and making new lows right now on Tesla. The new low is a break of 160, but we're still starting to go downside. And here it comes, like really quickly now.
Here we go.
I'm going to bid something at that 160 and change right now. Get a piece out. Like I'm going to go 160.15. If we get that, what's up to Reliable Rudy? What's up to all my friends out there and everybody there on the chat? Because you know we flipped the script on this, man. The funny thing is, although we've had some longs, some shorts right now, we're actually not at the high of ourselves for the net of the day. But if we do get this Tesla fill down here, if I just got out of Tesla, we would be. But the problem is AMD is going back and forth with me right now. We should have got out of everything right there on AMD, then we'd be fine. We got out of 70% of what we had. So right now we're going to wait for a little dip down into 81 flat right here. Is there size? Not really. 81 is going to just get destroyed, it looks like right now.
13-1 gone.
On 13
sorry,
on the NASDAQ.
Sorry, I shouldn't say gone. 13-1. We just tapped 13-1, broke beneath it. But we always talk about this. Until you're past it, you're not really through it. In fact, it went down to like 90. I saw 95 handle on the NQ, and we're right back at the even. But we are testing through that yesterday's low and continuing to break down. NVIDIA was the newest short for me. I reloaded it off VWAP there. I got some out. The scaling here is messed up because of this dark pool print. I can't do anything right now. So $0.50, full dollar. Now we're going to hold for how long? I mean, I almost want to hold this till 350. It's a small sell imbalance, early look. 180, that's a nothing burger. So 180 million to sell from Financial Juice. We got it from Brennan. Apologies for not getting to it sooner, but it's not really that big either. So not really anything happening on the imbalance side. Not sure that matters today. We are trend downside at the particular moment. JPM is about to hit 136 again. Every single time. This time it didn't bounce. That's a good sign. The first time it bounced, I just worked back into the short and then waited for it to get to 36 again. No bounce this time, so maybe that's a better sign for the bearish look on this particular bank. That's the one I went to because it was breaking the lows, now down 2% to the downside. PAC W is almost to, oh, I forgot. Oh, my goodness. I went to JPM. I don't think I even... Yeah.
What happened?
No, I mean, of course. So, like, my worst stock today was I shorted PAC W and took a 40-cent hit on it, which, I mean, 40 cents on this isn't that bad, but it's a bad out because that was the high. I almost made the top wick on the stock. But I looked over at JPM and didn't even really consider that you could have the regionals making a breakdown. That was a very available zone in here. That's 3 o'clock when this is breaking down and now channeling to the downside and continuing to go down. Obviously, it's a risky trade. Every single time you put a trade on this, have a stop order in either direction. But yeah, good look there. PAC W starting to head down. And good question, Super Stack Man. Does the MLC early look indicator need to check the math? No. I assume you mean, like, why is it only 180?
Oh, well, we don't know.
I don't. So,
well, it's from Financial Juice, and as far as I know, that they're only declaring names that are on the New York Stock Exchange.
So essentially, like, it's
you don't send us any complaints.
The only explanation I can give you for what that number means is they still have that handheld system on the NYSE floor, and so the market makers get imbalanced data to the handhelds, like closing orders into the system early, and sometimes, based on, I don't know where people have their sources, they're able to give you an early look at what those are standing at any particular time. How they get it, I have no idea. And then you get these estimates based on any early looks on a few stocks that people might be seeing, and then they give you a number. I have no idea. It's not that reflective of the entire market. When the NASDAQ's moving the market, as a matter of fact, you're missing most of it, quite frankly.
Yeah. And, you know, but it should be still pretty legit because the banks are going to be involved.
Yeah, the banks will be
the
there.
NYSE name, and there are some tech names, obviously.
Obviously. But it's not a full picture. That's the problem.
It's not like it's not going to affect. Well, it'll affect everything. But yeah, thank you for that question. All right. So what's really created some good buying opportunities down there? And again, we got out. We only have 20% left. This was not breaking 50, I felt like, so we got a 55 fill. So we got another piece out on Tesla. And then part of the reason why we did that is because we went long again at 10 here on AMD. So now AMD rips up to the upside one more time there, getting me out at 30.28. So hopefully that can continue its march higher, but I don't know for that to be necessarily the case. 81.50, 81.40 right now. So we're gonna have to be very, very careful, with what we're doing here, because I don't have any more bids on Tesla. So hopefully this breaks 160 and it's fine. We're out of half of our trade on AMD. I'm actually waiting at 38, but honestly, all right, here we go, 35s, 36, 38s. There it is right there.
Awesome.
So there we go. You know, you're looking at some of these trades and it's like, it is tough. Neil and I, again today, I'm just gonna tell you, I have 317 fills today, right? I have 109 of them on Google. I have 41 of them on AMD. I have 60 on Meta. I have 57 on Microsoft. I have 30 on PayPal. I have an amazing 6 on Tesla, and I have 11 on Uber. And they're not coinciding with, like, my best stock today is by a few dollars is Google, and then Meta, which are the most stocks I've scalped. But the other thing to understand here is my fees are $19.72. So 307 sort of executions, $19, right? So it's just, I just want to say, like, what we're doing here is going to be a little bit different, obviously, because of that fee structure. And I know that there are fee structures out there. For example, you're trading on Robinhood or some of those other, and I think a lot of them now are no fees. So, you know, just keep that in mind when you're trading. We have to pay fees, of course.
Nothing's free, though, obviously, right?
No, nothing's free. We have
you
to
do pay, just. You know.
We do have to pay, but we have the passive versus aggressive order type. So if you're sitting there posting your order to the book, then we'll get a rebate. And if we go in there and remove the order from the book, then we have to pay for that. So that's what that is.
So, I mean, it'd be a cheat to tell you that I have more fills because I'm in and out of that blue stock like 184 times today on the side, which I haven't really done in the afternoon. But I'm out of NVIDIA. NVIDIA just wicked me out. Oh, goodness. Let me go to NVIDIA here and just show you what happened. I kind of tightened my stop up there as we're getting to... I do this at 350 because the imbalances are about to come out, but I actually feel like I might have missed... Either that didn't break the high or I misplaced my stop. So it didn't break the channel to the upside. Maybe I need to find a way back into that. It is 350. If I get filled 79 again, I'll just go for it, but that's a bad wick. Bad wick in that I actually misplaced my stop there. I wanted to put a tighter stop to get out of it, and I actually got out for no reason. But JPM just cracked 136 and is continuing to the downside here. So weak, stays weak, breaks that support and that buyer at 136 even. Looks like it's going to probably trend into the close. I want to hold this one into the close because that bank has not been strong at any point. I'm going to just get on the bid of Mullen, which is not doing anything. So I've been kind of casually getting out. I'm just going to get it all out, as it's not really going to break 6. So it ends up going like 7, 7.5 into 6. Not a huge move to the downside, but you know, they're going to reverse split at some point, and then we'll see what happens to that after that. I mean, who knows? Sometimes you get a bit of a bump after.
Who was that?
Mullen. Sometimes you actually get bumps after they reverse split. Usually, eventually, it gets faded. So we'll watch out for that whenever it does occur. So JPM for me into the close.
Did we know that there's a reverse split date on
that? Was announced. I don't know a date.
Okay.
There was an announcement. I don't know anything about a date. So
Brendan will probably
if there's
be
an
able to,
actual date on it, I just heard that they're going to be doing it. That's all.
All right, good. Yeah, so I don't think that's good, but
I don't think it's good either.
Good for news on Mullen. I mean,
I don't think it's good.
Look,
at all.
Wish reverse split. Context Logic. We could think of some other names that's reverse split. Right now, I'm like my head is reverse splitting, so I don't know. You know,
I'm glad I drove in today.
What's going? Yeah, I drive in today as well. Today was nice though because only 20 minutes in the morning, and it'll probably be about 40 to 50 on the way home, which is fine. We had again I told you about that, our Little League game canceled, so it's just karate and dance tonight. I mean, it still does not stop in the Katina household. So again, shout out to everybody that has kids out there. You know exactly what we're talking about.
Gymnastics, baby. I love gymnastics.
Yeah, we have to boot our kid out of gymnastics, unfortunately, because she told us her passion is in hockey. And she does 9 hours a week as an 8-year-old in gymnastics. But the thing about gymnastics is she's so damn strong that it's helped her in hockey. But gymnastics is not, it's so much for me.
It's a lot of...
It's not just that, it's not fun for us because like when you're at a hockey game...
No, it's
just like there's not as many meets. That's all, right? And I don't know if your daughter's going to be competitive or not, but
I actually doubt it, to be honest. Okay,
right.
she's really into baseball and she really wants to do track and field. We're supposed to be throwing it to Brendan.
All right.
May the 4th be with Mullen tomorrow. It's tomorrow, guys.
Play baseball. You're
It's
finished.
softball.
Yeah. Mullins tomorrow. Okay, thanks, Brenda. Okay, here we come. The
It is
announcers are
tomorrow.
out.
Oh, okay.
Right now, so let's go over here. They just hit right now at 3:50. Thanks, Brendo, for that. It's not my stag, but maybe it's somebody else's right there. Stag there on there as the NYSE leading one. It's not Juice, but it's JNCE as well. AMD with a buy. That gives me that fill at 50, so we'll go. Thank you very much for that, Phil, on AMD. And this is what I mean. Your JP Morgan's here as a buy. I don't know if you're still in that. I know you're talking about it.
It just bounced back above 136.
Okay,
again.
and then Intel. Other than that, what was the number there? We're waiting for that. 680 to sell.
Whip me out. No,
680. Is that the updated number, Brendan? Yeah. Okay. So 680 to sell. So it just came out there. You can add these up if you want, but it doesn't look like there's too much on here. AMD's the big one for me, and look what AMD's doing, man. We rocketing right now to the top side. So got a little lucky with that, but we're almost out of all of our shares. So there goes AMD. I'm going to take an opportunity to get out of one more piece right now. 71s, and again, all that happened there. Honestly, we didn't know the imbalances were coming out as a buy, but we did know that 81 was there. So we did take that bid. Now we have 10% left, and we'll watch this come to the upside right now for AMD. Wow, what a great day this has been after all.
Yeah, I don't even see NVIDIA on there. I just hunted for it. I'm not going to search. Obviously, it's not big enough, so I'm not going to bother searching for it alphabetically, but didn't see it. I did see a few names move to the upside. How many times do I have to enter before it moves? Look what's happening on the stock. It's been a dollar range. It's now tightening up to a 25-cent range on NVIDIA. That is utter nonsense, but as long as it holds the channel, we'll go for it. But if it breaks up, I'm just getting out. I was just talking about JPM and that 136 getting reclaimed. Well, it wicked down, was breaking down. Now you're above on a buy imbalance. So I'm not giving this all the way back up to the top. Quite frankly, there's 7 minutes left in the day, obviously, so not enough time for it to go. I'm going to tighten the stop to the bottom of the channel, which is the quarters. So if it gets back above the quarters, I'm out. There goes NVIDIA. It broke the channel to the upside. It's not a huge move, but it's 30 pennies.
Yep.
Again, it was in a tight range. Not normally a 30-cent stop on NVIDIA wouldn't be a thing, but I showed you what it was doing in VWAP. It was literally not moving. So a tight stop is going to be the way to go. The shorts have been good this afternoon, but don't want to give it all back. Just adjusting my stop on JP Morgan. Didn't really look at too much of anything else. If there's something we missed out on that you wanted us to watch, let us know. I know there was that small capper that was moving around there at the end that was halting all over the place. I already forget its name, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I don't know anything about small caps. We talked
It
about
was
blue chips.
HCDI. That's that thing.
There was also HUDI, HUDI.
That move that halted as well a couple
today
times.
as well. All right, man. That closes the trade, man. We'll just go bang on that one because we are now done with AMD, and we just got in. Like, this is what I'm talking about when we're talking about little undercover moves and stuff. Like, that move just went to 81.80 there upside. So just an absolute monster move there at the end of the day. Really rocketing my net. So I was really happy with that one as we continue right now. But there it is right there, Tesla. I was going to get out if we broke 161. I mean, that happened a couple times there. So we put that order in. Well, it only happened once. Almost hit it again. But that's a good out for us on AMD as that just pulling back right now again and again and again. This market just keeps on going back and forth. So we'll wait to see it right now. But this hasn't happened too often. But barring any crazy moves here today, Neil, you and I will be 1 and 2 in the office. So that's pretty nice to see. We want, obviously, everybody behind us to make money. People are making money, but it's nice to see that we're able to do the show and bring some profits back home.
What I would say is for most day traders, the way that this moved is like you're always anticipating more. So like a Fed day, this wasn't a gigantic mover,
right.
And so I don't know if there was a chance for you to be like, oh my God, let's jam, which I think a lot of people would have been looking for to the upside today, and that didn't materialize. So that actually makes some sense. I didn't check to see what gold did, just so for my little morbid curiosity, I'm just in one position. It's the JPM. My trailing stop is just above 20. I'll hold it probably till at least past 355. GDX didn't even move. Wow, like if you were just a scalp trader, look what is going on, man? Like, just look at the bottom here on GDX. You could just be going bang, bang, bang. How many times have you just taken the range here? That's probably really, the algos are all in control of a one like that, so you're not really getting the bottom. You probably have to take it in front. Just not a heck of a lot of movement. I know you're already talking about Tesla. We didn't talk too much. Do we even show earnings yet? We get Apple on Thursday, so that's tomorrow. I can just say tomorrow after market. But Apple really broke down. So if you're looking for something to get reversed and kept reversing, like that's Apple. That trended to the downside. Like, why? Yeah, I kind of missed out on Apple, I kind of feel here. Decent shorts out there, lots of shorts to have, but Apple drops $3 from that 170 level after it was doing nothing for the majority of that move. So the shorts were definitely in here. The trend was to the downside. That's where you wanted to be.
All right, yeah, AMD continues to go back to the upside again. Thank you everybody for watching today and for participating. And like Neil said, it was a tough day. I mean, it's the Fed has its ways of definitely influencing the market. That is for sure. But yeah, true. Like I said, man, overall pretty good. We made most of our money there in the last 2 hours. Pretty much all of it, not most of it, and a lot of it was Meta. And we talked. I don't have a problem telling you guys, the money that we're making, and that's what that is right there on Meta. So there's that first initial breakdown off that 240. I mean, this is. I mean, that's 550. So that was a good trade there. Bless you. As we have some top picks there again, 240 down. That was a pretty good trade right there for us. It looks like we are going to get stopped out of Tesla pretty soon, which is still fine. Like I'm talking like this, and Tesla's still going to be a dollar winner all in all here. So hopefully that'll be good. And we also do have a 160.50. So far so good. It just rejected that again. I don't know, man. I mean, maybe if I feel like we're going to get taken out, so I'm not even going to really worry about this. We're hands off. The stop order's in there. We're waiting to see if there's a downside move. If not, just double checking 161.11, we're out. So that'll market me, well, not a market, but it'll get me out probably around the 20 area. That's where I put the bid. Liquidity seems to be fine right now. I don't expect it to evaporate. I will put a bid down here though, 160.30, just in case it flushes somehow. So I'm just gonna do that right now. Put a bid down here at 160.30 near the low of the day. If it somehow flushes here into the close, we'll take that bid and then we'll really be celebrating because again, really happy with the way this day turned out after all. And, good day. Tomorrow's, it's hump day. We talked about that. Wednesday tonight, some good sports on TV again as the Oilers are playing. I'm sure there's some good NBA games as well. I'm sure the Jays play.
Who plays NBA tonight? I don't know.
I don't know. Who plays in the NBA? Well, we had the Knicks in Miami yesterday, as well as the Lakers. So it's the other way. Who are the other teams?
Denver must be playing then.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Denver, Phoenix, and then Philly. Duh.
Oh,
Philly,
yeah.
Philly, Boston.
Yeah, probably the best series.
The MVP, Joel Embiid.
He's back.
Literally
he's
probably
the
won
best
yesterday.
Series,
okay. So all right.
I think we're supposed to go for earnings. By the way,
Okay.
Qualcomm's dumping too.
Well, there's Qualcomm.
I was about to say, Qualcomm's after the close. They're dumping into the close, down 3% already. And at the low of the day is Qualcomm. What do we have else that we care about here? Maybe Zillow.
We talk about Etsy sometimes.
Datadog during the morning. That was strong, actually, going into it. I'm with you, man.
Yeah. Datadog. We're going to be Datadog
Peloton,
dependent, remember, on everything. Oh, Royal Caribbean's there. I don't know, man. I don't know. Oh, Molson Coors. Let's talk about Anheuser-Busch. Their Molson Coors, I thought, just had a great report, up 8% the other day. That was a good one. So you can watch out for Anheuser-Busch coming through one more time.
That could be spicy. 2 minutes to go.
You know what?
Not a heck of. I mean, I'm still in JP. You know what? I'm just gonna.
Waiting to see if Tesla flushes.
I'm just gonna get out of JPM. It's not. This is not really moving, and I have my stop. And there's still support back at the even 136. It just doesn't seem to want to flush from here. With not that much time, I'm gonna pop on the bid. Let's just take it out there. Only 90 seconds until the close. I'm gonna make an assumption that we're either gonna have CAD or maybe we're gonna have. The Ranster on the bell, whoever it is, should be a heck of a lot of fun.
We're going to have Katrina on the bell, I think.
Katrina. Oh, I said Cat. Is it okay? Yeah. Is that cool? Okay.
Yeah, I've been calling her Cat forever.
Yeah, I know. I don't think I've actually been like, hey, you're cool with that? Some people don't love nicknames, but yeah, Cat. Cat's going to be on the bell, and that should be good. As always, it looks like
only 1 minute.
I shouldn't have done this. So that's, you want to blame me. Like they say in South Park, blame Canada.
Yes.
So I can take it. That's fine. We are Canadian. We like to apologize a lot, but the market is going to end red. I don't think I'm spoiling anything telling you guys that.
Yeah, I have no apologies about today, man. Today was a great day, and again, Kat, if you're going to ring the bell, we need to sort of get you up there right now with only 30 seconds to go. And there she goes.
Gotta move.
And now she's there. That was fast.
Is she, though?
So you'll get.
Oh, I still have stops.
We'll get ready to
Cancel,
rock and roll on that
cancel.
one. And again, hit the like button, man. Hit the subscribe. Hit all that. We're back tomorrow, and I promise, man, we're gonna have a lot more energy than I have right now. That's for sure. Those of you guys have been watching this forever, you know that. 5,000 people watching, 1.3K likes. We like that. With only 10 seconds to go right now. Yeah, good day today. Better day tomorrow, I promise you. There it is right now. What's up, Kat? 5, 4. Well, you can see that.
Dance
3,
it off.
2,
Holla.
and 1.
Making moves.
All right, so the claps are behind us. Big day, hopefully, for everybody again. But let's go, man. It was good. I don't know how we wound up. I mean, I do, but we're going to tease that a little bit because we got to throw to
the downside,
Brendan
obviously.
in just a minute. So I don't know. Happy about today. Glad today's over,
Yeah.
man. Exhausted. We'll be back here tomorrow again. Good thing we got out of our Tesla there at 50s. That was a good call to end the day as it didn't flush down to the day's low. But hey, we took 50 instead of 30. Good enough for me. All right, Brendan, thanks again for everything today. It was a very busy one. I know Neil and I are pretty exhausted. How are you feeling?
About the same. Been, what has it been? Almost 10 hours. 10 hours on camera, in fact. So there's that. Here we go. Red, top to bottom, outside of the 2,000 there, 0.5% to the upside. The Russell 2,000. Everything else red, top to bottom. It looked at one point like we might save it, guys, but they dumped it into the close.
QCOM here with a revenue miss, it looks like, and down. It's not a ton of volume, but down 6%. It looks like EPS is as expected. Just looking forward here. Oh my gosh, their expected range on third quarter is 170 to 190. Expected 220 is what I just saw. So it is trading down. It was the stock was at 115 at 2 o'clock, so at 3 o'clock. So really, it was already trading $2.50 to the downside, and not a good look. I mean, Qualcomm, that's one of those ones that can turn us the other way tomorrow.
I feel like the NASDAQ might have seen some temporary tops, man, for a while. We've been talking about that for a little bit here in the NASDAQ. We keep showing you that 13.3. We don't break it. We don't break it. We get up there today and fall 200 points. I mean, we basically, you just go back to like 150 when we talked about what's kind of the plays we'd have. There's that 13.3 short. So, okay, Brendo, I guess it's just Qualcomm. I don't really see too much else happening right now as we go down 6% on the day. Qualcomm, another 3% aftermarket. So, all right, it's 4:02. Thank you, everybody, for watching so much. Now that you found us, make sure you come back tomorrow because it's going to be just as good of a day, if not better, I promise you. And thanks to Bears vs. Bulls again. And happy 1-year anniversary, man. I know I started the show with that, but again, everybody, give your shout outs to Bear vs. Bulls there in the chat. He's doing great work for us, and I want to thank you for sure for keeping everybody in line there on the chat. Thank you, Mr. Bears and versus Bulls. So we have a bear and a bull on the desk right now. They'll be versing each other over the next couple of days, I promise you that. But one red name, AMD, hopefully will do better today. But Neil's fixing the bull as we speak right now. He's putting them into Bears.
We should start the day when it's one or the other.
Yeah, we'll figure that out tomorrow. But let's get out of here, man. Like Brendan just said, 10 hours seems to be a lot. All right, for everybody here at Trader TV Live, great midday. Thanks to the IT team today. It's been fantastic. Thanks to Kat behind us, Sharif, everybody. We're Neil, Sean, and Brendan. But that's Neil. That's Brendan in the middle.
That's how I
feel. And I'm some random dude. So thank you so much for watching, and we will see you guys tomorrow. Ciao.
Ciao.